Wife.
Hello and welcome to Tales from the Dark Side, your Star Wars news and weekly comic recap presented by Renovision. Tonight, the crew gives us an intro to Tales of the Jedi, find out what it's all about and what it may or may not be whenever it gets to Disney+. We share the latest Star Wars news. Are we doing pickups? Maybe, I don't know. Only one Star Wars comic to review this week, and that's Crimson Reign number 4. There's another round of S3 that's Slab Stash Sale, and this time it includes a viewer submission. We'll review and give thoughts on E.K. Johnston's latest novel, Queen's Hope. Also, the easiest trivia on YouTube, prizes guaranteed. But what would you do then? Would you deal with the dark side? I don't know. Let's get it going, fellas. Find out.
Joe's got Snaggletooth today. Joe, we were going to put an icon for you because he's our submission for S3. Spoiler alert, but he changes every day. All right, Ruben, good to see you. Ruben, I thought you were coming on. I guess he's not, so cool. Lopez, good to see you. Dusty, great to have you. Wookie Fanatic, good thing you showed up to. Pete said, hey, it was great. He showed up to my Whatnot auction that was up till 4 in the morning. Pete, don't ever do a Whatnot auction till 4 in the morning again.
I didn't plan. I didn't think it was going to take that long.
Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping?
I'm not sleeping
now. JJ fell off. Oh, he's back.
There he's back. He's back.
Perfect. We'll get to a minute. BK, I'm ignoring you. Wayseeker. What? Wayseeker, good to see you. Joe's. Hey, Jen. Oh, look at who it is. My man. Half price crook.
I don't know where JJ's kind of back. He's halfway. There he is.
He's there, but
Eric, good to see you.
There it goes.
He's glitching. All right. Let's get
there it goes.
Oh, yeah. Well, we might have Don be doing the news then. All right, go ahead, Jedi. Get us through.
All right. Hey, these are the things that are bad for this guy's health. Number 1, fast food. Okay, yeah, that's bad for you. Number 2, the air inside any Walmart. All right. Number 3, wearing the same pair of shoes for more than an hour. And number 4, hanging out in chat rooms, reading stupid comments from Star Wars experts. Well, he says no to fast food nowadays, and he avoids Walmart and rotates his sneakers. But for number 4, that's his favorite drug, and he can't help himself. It's Macho Man Marco.
You don't have a license. You don't have to have a license to be a speculator, I guess. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm sending this guy a list of comics. No, not to showcase on one of his weekly shows in order to skyrocket the hobby value. No, I just want him to prop up 1 or 2 of them on his desk. I think maybe that's all it's going to take to get the needle moving nowadays. It is the needle moving visionary, Pete Renovision. And so I hate it when I don't know what this guy's been up to all week. It kind of makes me nervous, a little scared actually. It's like when your kids have been quiet for hours, then you notice all your magic markers are not where you left them. It's the guy behind the curtain, tranquil, a little too tranquil this week, JJ Maxwell.
Where'd he go?
He ran away.
I don't know. Hey, this guy's IG videos just keep on giving. There are 2 kinds of kids when it comes to unwrapping gifts, those who do it carefully and fold away the gift paper, and those who grow up to be this guy. He rips through bubble wrap like a Suma Verminoth rips through smugglers racing the Kessel Run. It's Dom Tober, and the hunt is on. And on cold, rainy nights on Coruscant, he would stare weirdly through the windows of the Jedi library as Master Yoda taught lessons to all the young Padawans. It would not have been so weird if Yoda would have just let him inside. It's me, Jedi Johnson 22. Let's go. That's it.
Did we already go? We already got it.
All
right. Price. Yeah. Half price. We'll see in a minute. Apparently, JJ's got the same connection that our man Half Price Crook does. So hopefully they can figure that out real quickly. In the meantime, what else do we have going on? Yeah. I probably am not going to tell stories about comic book creators anymore.
Visionaries would be awesome, by the way.
Yeah. Oh,
that would be an awesome series.
Yeah, I heard that too. Apparently, I'm not going to do anything about content creators, or not content creators, comic book creators anymore, because when I mention them, their times are coming. Okay. JJ is coming back. Let's get into it. We're gonna do a couple stuff. Oh, real quickly, I didn't even ask the crew, but I think Wednesday for Tax Show we have a little crossover. It looks like we might do a Dark Side.
Oh yeah, May the 4th.
May the 4th, because it is May the 4th. So I think we're gonna do a May the 4th crossover there on Wednesday. So we'll give you more in-depth stuff on there. We'll talk about all the things. Maybe I'll buy some socks because you know how much I like shoes. So there's a sock sale going on. Speaking of sock sales, JJ, you ready to cover the news? Okay, let's put up the news so somebody can
maybe
fix what's going on, Jay. Boy, 26 days from now, oh, he's going to yes. Yeah, Joe. Well, whatever. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Go ahead.
All right.
Hey, that guy.
Can you run the thing? Nah, I don't need to run the thing. We'll just bring up the news.
All right, Dom, how about you do the news? Because JJ, are you frozen or not?
Am I frozen?
No.
No,
Now you talk the moment.
That's off pace. Go ahead. We'll try it one more time.
JJ?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep, we can hear you. You're on for the news.
Okay.
It's gonna be a long show.
So, all right. So, this was announced as one of the May 4th things. Well, I shouldn't say announced. It was leaked as one of the May 4th things that we could see for all those Fortnite fans, Star Wars. We'll come back with some lightsabers and some skins, which nothing new, I don't think. Probably the same stuff they've had before.
Sticks, is this new? Sticks plays Fortnite like he's a 12-year-old. Sticks, is this new? No, yes. Go ahead, JJ. Up next.
Okay. So we can all wait and see how badly they screw this up.
Yes. This is content creators' dreams right here. This is the hits that keep on hitting. Let's go. Let's go.
Yep.
So that's all we want to do on that?
That's all I got to say about that.
Speculate?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, if you're into it, watch it and see how much it goes.
Don't worry, we'll give a review. We'll give a review on the 4th of it. And hopefully it just keeps going as well as they've been doing so far. I will say this. The unfortunate part is we know they can do it well because we've seen what they've done with G.I. Joe. We've even seen what they've done with Ghostbusters. And it's exceptional what they do with those. Star Wars, on the other hand, for Hasbro, just like, I mean, I know the history's always been weird about the toys, but for Christ's sakes, figure it out. All right, go ahead. That's enough.
All right. So for those unable to make it to, I think in the UK they call it Fan Day, and also people on the internet if you want. But just figure I mentioned that there are 2 big Star Wars authors signing books at Forbidden Planet coming up in June, I believe. So
that's cool.
Okay.
Be on the lookout for that. And I think you can buy most of them online, at least copies of them. But
that is for our friends overseas. Hopefully you guys can. Actually,
yeah, Forbidden Planet in the UK.
Who's doing Shadow and Sith? Adam Christopher?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is he Irish?
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. That might be cool. If our friends over there have got a hookup on this, let us know. Maybe I'll pay somebody to ship me something very expensive. Shipping. All right. Next up.
Shipping's not that bad.
I think the last time it cost me $42.
So congratulations are in order for Ewan McGregor and Ramona Flowers. They're now wed is one.
Who?
I don't know. They did it in secret, I guess, or like basically over the weekend. Eloped, I guess you would call it.
Yeah. John McClane's daughter.
I think they've been dating for a while.
Huh?
Interesting.
Have we really? This is what we're doing now?
Celebrity news. You said news.
Yeah,
Star Wars
this is
news.
what we're doing now.
They're both Star Wars stars. They're both Star Wars
the
stars.
second one is. Jesus Christ. All right.
Wait, who was she in Star Wars?
She's going to be
coming.
in, is it Kenobi or Ahsoka? I don't remember which.
No, Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
Oh, she is. So now that's how that happens. You get married in secret, and then you get
And
your
you get a
spouse
role in
job.
Star Wars. Yeah.
Well, she got it before she got married.
Nepotism.
Hey, Rose Tico, are you still single? What's up? Give me one. Give me a call. Give me a call. Come on now. Shoot. Is it what's that guy's name? What's the guy that plays Han Solo? Young Han Solo? Charles Gambino. I think he's single too. What's up, bud?
Whatever.
I'm
Oh,
I can be single
that's
too.
Lando.
Yeah,
Solo.
let's go. Yeah, let's go. All right.
So I just thought this was funny.
What's up? Let's go, Mark.
Speaking of younger versions of things, I thought this was funny to include that Mark Hamill on social media was poking a little bit of fun at his de-aged self. So, I don't know.
Nice. What did he say? Anything good?
No, he basically photoshopped like his like de-aged self onto, I don't know if it was like a current picture, I don't remember now, but of himself, but made himself look young.
Okay.
Oh, so it's the
pretty
left.
badly
Which side
photoshopped.
I see this. So half the size is not his DH self. The other half
Yeah.
is his young self.
Yeah.
So which one's which?
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Nobody cares. Okay, well, they didn't do such a bad job then.
This will be Jedi's fun piece of news. So Visions, along with Mandalorian, is going to get a manga adaptation. So same magazine in Big Gangan magazine, which is a
Good.
shonen
Gangan,
magazine. Yeah.
Make sure you mail all this out to Hawaii, please.
Oh, there's enough of that already here in Hawaii. I'm sure it'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're
Listen.
moving on then.
Listen, Jedi, if there's a zombie apocalypse and that's all out there to read, you got to pick it up and read.
It's got to be something else to read.
So this was a little bit interesting, and the rating, I guess, for Kenobi came out this week, which
Who rated
I think it was rated 10 plus
Oh,
age
9
group or
plus.
9
9
plus.
plus.
Or,
Yeah.
I think it was UK. I think it was in the
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
9 plus, which
Why is that important,
I mean,
though?
I don't know that this is that big a deal. A lot of people made a big deal about it. Like, were we really expecting like Deadpool level of like
Yeah, 'cause
violence
that's
and
like
comedy?
Exactly.
There is a part of the internet, there's a sect of the internet that no matter what the rating is, if it's not R, the first bleeping comment they'll make is like, this should be R rated. It's going to suck. Like, was Star Wars, is there anything Star Wars that ever was R? Like, even the knockoff stuff.
No, well, Revenge of the Sith was the first Star Wars movie PG-13.
That's true.
So,
Well, even think of the Disney plus Marvel stuff. I mean, it's not like Hawkeye may have been a little bit like, but most of that is pretty
You see, they
tame. I
started
mean,
to take all the stuff out of the shows too, which kind of
I
stinks.
guess they were wanting like Book of Boba Fett episode 6 where Mandalorian just starts hacking people apart. Is that what everyone wants? Anything
I wonder.
else is-
I don't know. Well, the other thing too is like, I wonder if it gets a little bit lower rating because lightsabers, not guns.
yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
I don't know.
There's no blood with lightsabers.
yeah, no, I mean, I get it. First off,
Right.
maybe the comment of the night is already happening. It's last time Star Wars had a secret wedding, it went bad. Less than a year of marriage, and Anakin was killing all the
Yeah,
children.
that's the other thing. Yeah, PG-13.
That's
You start
funny.
murdering little kids.
Jeff, what's going on? No, I don't think this is. I think this is just like the internet, right? Like there's people who,
Yeah.
as soon as they say anything, like they were killing Morbius before it even got out the gate because it wasn't rated R, and that I don't know, and the same thing with other stuff. I mean, that's what the internet does. That's why you can't trust the internet.
Fair enough.
I'm still excited. Anybody, because of the rating, is anybody not excited going to watch this
Listen,
Nope.
TV
I
show?
still
I'm
have
not
to
liking
watch
my
it.
opinion at all.
What's that, Dom?
Still gonna watch it, and I'm
Yeah.
still
Nope.
gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
So,
Not me.
Yep.
If there's no gore or nudity, I'm not watching it.
damn Jedi,
I mean, that's
You've
what they
changed.
promised me. That's what they sold
Yep.
me.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
I need a lot of back to tank soaking. That's
Star
what
Wars,
I need.
There you
Star Wars Game of Thrones version.
Yeah. No, like the Spartacus on Stars.
Yeah.
Like Xena Warrior Princess, which was that Spartacus she was in? What was she in?
Come on, want some Tom and Jerry violence?
She's
Yeah.
in Rome.
Spartacus.
Well, she might have been in both.
No, Spartacus. Well, I don't know. Maybe she was in Rome.
What was she?
She might have been
Spartacus?
both.
That was
I like
called-
Rome.
What was it called? I don't think it's called Spartacus. Anyways, go ahead. Next up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ed, for saying hi for the algorithm. Good to have you, bud.
We'll get to more of this later a lot, but
Oh, for looking
there
at
was
me.
a long-standing rumor was apparently confirmed that will be an animated anthology for Tales of the Jedi. So sorry about the bad picture. I kind of blew that up. I guess it
Yeah.
looked better on my
And sorry, I
phone.
didn't have time to get the clip
I
where
thought my
this
eyes
was
were
pulled
going
back in the
okay,
holidays.
this picture.
Oh, you didn't pull my clip.
I couldn't pull the. I didn't have time.
Well, I'll take a victory lap real quick and say that I was right all along when the rumor first came out. It was,
I gave you. I,
it was an animated TV show, and we're right.
good job. Give it to him, folks. Give it to JJ. Give him the W in chat. He got a win on that one. He said he figured it was going to be an anthology. He was right.
JJ's always right, just like I'm always wrong.
That's-
JJ's the guy.
you guys are giving each other a little bit too much credit. A lot of times you guys are right, and Jedi. A lot of times you're Jedi.
No,
All right, next up.
I'm 1.8% right at the time. So
Yeah, 0.18.
0.18.
You're wrong again.
So-
yeah.
I think they already kind of quashed this rumor, but
Yeah.
the director Deborah Chow came out and finally crossed again too. Where there's that rumor where Maul was going to be in the thing, but then I guess somebody went back and cut it, and everybody's like, "Oh, how dare they cut Disney out of or Darth Maul out of
No, time out.
Kenobi?" It never existed, I guess was the
Even Dom didn't believe this rumor, dude. Come on, man. He said, "Yeah, that ain't happening." So I
I don't
think,
know.
No, he did.
Well, look,
Tom seemed
I
pretty
can tell you this.
excited.
if they do show something to flashback when he was younger, other than that, it
You love
messes
the
I
up
don't
the
think he's gonna be in it
continuity.
at all.
It messes up the continuity with the whole twin son episode and stuff like that because he hasn't seen him.
I know I've read comments. Folks want that. They want that Maul Kenobi scene from Rebels, and why? Because they're just. I think finally Disney made a good decision.
He's coming to my side.
No, I think I've always been on your side on that one. I think it's perfect the way it is. You don't need to redo that live action.
Yeah,
Great.
do not ruin perfect stuff. You don't have to, man. Just leave it. I mean, it's on Disney Plus. You can watch Obi-Wan and then switch over to that episode and have it paused and just watch that happen, dude. You don't need to. Don't mess with greatness. Thank you, Jedi. I appreciate that. Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good to be home.
Better than
Oh, that was
Zero.
a Sticks, but that was a different Maul rumor. That was Maul and Ahsoka that they quashed a few weeks ago with that fake photo. So, yeah. So there's, I think there's like a Darth Maul rumor for every TV show now coming up in Star Wars.
Coming everywhere.
He's gonna be in Andor next.
Well, why not?
No, he's not. No.
Yeah.
No, he's
Go
not.
there.
But that's actually the only one out of the three that he could actually. That's Dom's right. The only one that he actually could be in is that one. I
Timing could work.
All right. What's up?
So yeah, this is the other thing that I don't know. That this is probably not here either. I highly doubt them dropping this. Celebration on major Star Wars. First, I don't know what major Star Wars movie news is because there are already movies announced. So is major news like they give one a title? I don't know.
3D.
What's that?
Is Ruben going to end up being right? That's what I want to know.
Why would Ruben say?
Well, Ruben said on our show, on our little Between Two Forces, that he thinks it's kind of funny that Daisy, what's the last name? Daisy, whatever,
Ridley
turned her social media back on in the last couple of weeks. He says
So
it means something.
Rose Tico did like 6 months ago when she had.
Yeah, she's actually going to be at Celebration.
Well,
yeah, well, that's because the last time Rose Tico went to Celebration, she got a standing applause. I mean,
well,
she
Ray
was a rock
turned hers
star.
off for like 6 years.
So did Rose. Rose's social media has been off since the second movie? When did the second movie come out?
That's like 3 years or 4 years.
No,
2017.
What?
2017.
Long time for both.
Yeah, it's like 6.
A long
They did it at the same time. Well, I would assume that hopefully the news is so big that they're going to return to doing movies every 2 years. That'd be great news. The rest of it, I'd put $1 that it's not true, including what they said on
There's
Two
so
Ferns.
many different.
Make
things
sure
they
you're
can
checking
do.
out Two Ferns show. It's a great show.
Two forces.
Oh, Two Forces. I keep saying Two Ferns.
You know,
That was
they have
AOA,
so many
I
opportunities.
didn't mean to go back.
everybody. Okay.
You know,
JJ disappeared. Okay. Next
I
up.
wanted to go this way, but I also wanted to do the. What the hell is the overlay? I guess we don't have the overlay.
We're in the rumor section. Okay, so Star Wars, Hayden Christensen isn't done. This is the next rumor. Isn't done after Obi-Wan Kenobi show. JJ, do you have anything to add? This is rumor number 2, I guess.
Basically, the rumors are pushing that there's going to be a Vader series kind of coming down the pike with I assume Hayden Christensen in the Vader role. So I don't know.
You know, that
I have
could
a
be like
feeling those
ultimate
rumors will get.
clickbait, right?
He did.
Yeah,
I mean,
I have a
Hayden
feeling those
Christensen's
rumors will
an
get quashed
actor.
real quick.
Maybe
if
he
Hayden
isn't done
Christensen kind of
after
drops the
Obi-Wan.
ball in this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
Well, I think he's going to be the Vader from now on, but I don't know if you'll see a whole series with him as Vader.
that would be cool if they
Seems
did.
suspect.
You know, definitely a good idea if they did it. It would definitely get a lot of subscription people jumping on Disney because Vader People love Vader.
That's
They
a very
do.
expensive Vader.
They do, but at the same time, you run the risk of messing it up with a Book of Boba Fett, and then you start getting jokes made about you, and then you start losing some of the sheen by leaving a lot of less to the imagination.
Also,
You
too,
start
if he
telling stories
if he
you don't
doesn't
have to
do a very
tell.
good job in Kenobi, this rumor only goes so
That's the whole
far as
thing.
that.
No, it could be they're waiting on Kenobi to see what Kenobi does. And
Yeah.
if it does get a big uplifting, this could be a possibility that they have in the back burner. Who knows?
Do you time out? Do you think that's more likely, or do you think this is more likely? Somebody needed some Star Wars content because the 4th is coming up, so they said, "Okay, what's going on? Oh wait, Christensen's playing Vader. This has got a lot of hits a while ago, and it's part of the keyword search. So why don't we start a rumor that he could be playing Vader after Obi-Wan? Which one do you think's more likely? What Dom just said, or what I just said?
Well, it's like Wayseeker put up there that he's supposed to be in Ahsoka, and that's true. I think. I don't know if that's actually
In a
confirmed,
flashback, but that's not a series. We're talking about the Vader series.
Yeah, I think that's rumored. I don't know if he's actually confirmed.
Okay,
for
that's
that.
what I'm referring to as the Vader series. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, the whole series, I don't know. That seems suspect. But.
I think if they kind of have him in, like, it wouldn't be bad. Like, they bring him into the Ahsoka thing, that would be kind of okay. Like one shot and one off, and you don't do, like you said. I mean, do we really want to see Vader in a back to tank? Is that what you want to see on screen?
Vader has been so thoroughly covered in comic books. I don't know what you do that could be original for Vader.
How about a movie, like a made-for-movie Disney Plus movie?
No, please don't touch Vader.
No, I'm just saying, like an hour and
please
a half.
Don't. No, I heard what you said, and I said one thing: please don't touch Vader. I don't even like that they're putting him in this. I really don't.
Don't give me the high ground, Dwayne. I commented the other night watching Highlander. Ramirez had the high ground against the Kurgan, and he still got killed. So the high ground and everything.
Look we got him in Rogue One.
Kurgan was like 8 feet tall.
Yeah, that's true, but he still had the high ground.
Let's just leave it alone. Let's leave Vader alone. We can leave him alone. Like Jedi said, we got a lot of comics. Leave him alone.
We can leave him alone. We got one more.
Oh, Jesus. Speaking of leave alone.
Yep. So this came from an interview where is it Ian McDermott?
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce the last name. But anyways, he had an interview where he said that he basically teased that he's going to be in an upcoming show somehow, but didn't really say how. Like, nobody knows. That's like, does that mean we see a hologram? Does that mean we see like the back of his head? Like a recording or just his voice, nobody knows. Seems to
he could
really
be
clarify,
in the hologram against Vader and Obi-Wan.
And
Jeffrey, yeah, he could be in a hologram.
He used the word presence, so that means lots of things.
Yeah, listen, if this is the one person that if he says something for some reason they let Ian McDermott leak shit, so like they do. He did it at Celebration one year too
with the laughing.
No, he actually got on stage and said, "I'm returning." Like people don't remember that because they weren't there. It wasn't just the laughing because that's what they taped.
Well, at the end of the Rise of Skywalker, when he did the laugh, and he did it twice.
No, on stage at Celebration the year before, he said they did the laughing again, but then he said, "I'm returning," and everybody's like, "Yeah," but he said it somehow like almost as a joke, and everybody thought it was a joke. Or it's great to be. He said something to the effect of "I'm returning," and the dude just as ambiguous as this present thing. It wasn't like "I'm returning." He said something to that effect, or like "It's great to be back in the Star Wars universe," or "It's great that you guys are going to see me back in the Star." He said something to that effect, and sure shit, he showed up, and it was a miserable.
Death is but a door. Time is a window. I'll be back.
Yeah, did he say "I'll be back"?
Yeah,
Is that what he said?
Malin?
He said something. I can't remember what he said. It might have been "I'll be back." And it was just,
he did his best.
The thing about this is like, did anybody think we'd be completely done with this?
No, I think he's always he's like, always going to pop up. No, I just don't. But this is
never get to Star Wars.
Yeah, but this is the perfect example of like when Dom's like, "Well, what if they do a series about Vader? Don't you want to see it?" No, because we saw them bring up the Palp's back, and they did a shit ass job with it.
Well, Palp would be in Darth Lopez's dream project, a Darth Plagueis.
It would be, but not as Ian McDermott.
No, well, he would be we'd see him as young Sidious.
Sheev Palpatine.
Yeah, but not Ian McDermott. Ian
Yeah.
McDermott.
Well, look,
They de-age him.
Look, I'll tell you
You're
this.
not fucking being
As long as they're doing shows prior to New Hope, he can show up. He can show up.
I woke Lopez up.
Just because he could show up doesn't mean he should show up, is what I'm
I
saying.
know. But it's the
Once
money
again,
maker.
everybody
They
can
wanna
show
make
up. It's fucking make believe. It's Star Wars. Anybody can fucking show up. We could see that by the last shit ass movie where they had this asshole show up and it was shitty. Okay, we could see anybody could show up because you could have
Now
fucking
Ruben's
horses
awake. Everyone's
running
waking up.
on spy planes. So you're right. Any fucking thing could show up. It doesn't mean it's a good idea. You can wipe your ass with your hands still instead of toilet paper. You can do that,
Moving
but
on.
it doesn't mean it's a good idea. Let's go.
Well, that was our last story anyway.
McLovin versus Vader. Yeah,
Listen
you can
to
have that
these.
shit too. Okay. Way to send us off with the bang.
Don't worry, Sabe is coming back too.
Yeah, what? What'd you say? What did he say?
Sabe.
Sabe is coming back.
Sabe is coming back.
I
He's already
actually, if they did a Sabe, honestly, I'll be honest. If they did a Sabe, shit. Okay, right now I'm in a rant, but I'm not gonna do it because we got a super chat, so that stops all rants. Dark Lopez, $1.99 super chat. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat.
Thank you.
All proceeds go for us giving you guys giving shit away back to you guys. Pretty much, that's how it goes. Except for 30% that YouTube takes. Thank you, Pete. Darth Lopez, thank you for the $1.99.
That was for my Plagueis series.
Thank you, Pete. I don't know what for, but thank
The
you.
Plagueis thing.
Oh,
I made the Plagueis
yeah.
series comment.
Yeah, if you mention Plague,
I know. Apparently,
Dom and him should get a room and a show together where they could just say shit and then be happy that it got said. Like,
See if it
literally,
sticks. We'll do a show about things sticking, and we'll just
throw shit on the wall. Yeah, it'll be like Ray actually. The original series actually fucking was a terrible piece of dog shit, which it was. Okay,
20 years from now, people gonna tell how great it was.
Dom will go like, listen, did you know that there's a possibility that every character ever that has been in any Star Wars could come back? And Lopez could just go, well, that would mean that we'll get Plagueis, right? Plagueis will that will be your whole fucking show.
No, I'm telling you, we'll get a cork board. We'll invest. We'll get Dom a big cork board. He can put a bunch of post-it notes, and then he can blindly throw a dart and then see which rumor hits, and then that will be the topic of the day.
There you go.
Oh,
We'll make it a wheel, a spinning wheel, and whatever
Yeah, you can do a
stops.
wheel.
no, we're not doing any of that. Well, maybe that actually gonna be
All right, what's next?
actually.
Come on.
Oh, old man's getting mad. Move along. All right, we're gonna do comics. We have one comic book this week. Marvel's getting back into giving us comics, so we got some stuff coming out next week. That might be exciting. We'll see stuff too. This week, cool covers, except for I don't know all these covers. I got them all, I guess, apparently, except for the cover. I really enjoyed it. Isn't the one? Okay, we'll get into it because I think that character's dead already. No, that one's still alive. Okay. So, Crimson Reign 4, how badly they blundered the first book. What was it called? It wasn't War of the Bounty Hunters, was it? No, what was the last crossover series for Crimson Dawn? What was it called?
It was War of the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, it was War of the
War of the Bounty Hunters. How badly they blundered War of the Bounty Hunters. Maybe it's us. Maybe they're finally listening. They are doing such a great job with Crimson Reign. They're keeping the isolated books isolated, JJ spinning, and they are and then this is actually a masterpiece and doing a lot of character development. This series now, since like every for those people that forgot, every Crimson Reign book keys in on one faction or one character. This week, the key in is on Knights of Ren and Ren. Kira's, as you see her grabbing, if you can't read this or you haven't read it already, Kira goes on and finds Ren. Ren says how attractive he is and everything else. She gives him the like, yeah, you ain't that hot. I mean, like the back and forth were pretty slick. Like the writing was very well done in this one.
Is this the first time we've seen Ren's face? I mean, I was not expecting Brad Pitt.
No, remember what book we saw that in? That
It was in the
Holocron.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
Kylo Ren
yeah,
book.
your favorite book.
Okay,
That's why you
Kylo
blocked
Ren.
it out, Jedi.
You see
I
the face.
blocked it. Okay.
The Kylo Ren series when we first saw him. Okay. We do get a little bit more naming, so I'll go through when we see them and I'll try to identify, because people have asked this for all the Ren characters. No, this is not the last issue, right? There's one more issue after.
No, there's one more.
Yep, 5. So she tries to recruit him. She actually does recruit him by saying, hey, listen, your ship sucks. Everything else sucks, but How about you take the thing over and go steal something for Vader? Very interesting points if you haven't been reading other stuff. One thing, first off, the little kid version or the small version, Cardo, gets a lot more talking time and play in this. All of them get their inputs. They went to a little bit more depth. Like, Cardo's the one who has how do you explain this? He's got a gun on his hand, kind of. If you see this thing, he's got like
Trapjaw?
he's got like almost like a trap jaw thing. Yeah, he uses a big blaster gun. But there was also the short guy, Missif. Buzz is the one that has the axe and was on the front cover.
You have the Twi'lek.
The Twi'lek is, I actually did this. Marinda. I actually went back and wrote down all their names so that we'd have them all. And then there's one other name.
Who's the dude with the horns? The guy with the horns.
Which is the one with the horns? I didn't list it as horns.
He's in the.
Do we know why the Twi'lek character talks or doesn't talk the way they do?
No, we don't. Not yet.
Okay.
Anyways, they jump on their speeder bikes just like we saw them in the cartoon. If you watch that Legos cartoon thing, they end up going over to Vader's castle. They can use the Force collectively or singularly. It's not as powerful, but when they do it together, it seems to have more power. They see back of tanks, and then we get our man Fiodor. So Fiodor, whatever. The beast-looking one spits in a back of tank and says, "I'm leaving him something later." That's what we call foreshadowing, folks. Wonder what's going to happen to that guy. We get actually a different version of Vani. The guy in the bottom left corner is actually that Sith acolyte that's in charge of Vader's castle. We've seen it before in all the Vader Returns book, all that type of stuff. We've seen it before on
the
TV.
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Yes, right. That's him. So he's like, "Hey, you guys aren't supposed to be here." They decide to try to shoot him. He's got a force field beam anyways. It ends up launching a bunch of death troopers at him. In the meantime, dude, Jedi said like, "Oh, we knew Vader was going to show up." I know Vader was going to show up, but Vader uses cool ass lines in this book and is a badass, which is not what they did last series. He comes in, he's like, "Hey, y'all weren't invited," and then just starts tearing mothers apart, dude, like real good. So, ignore. I don't know what Ozarks is, but I'd ignore her too. He ends up throwing the guy. We do remember because that Fedor guy was the guy that spit into the back of tank. Vader ends up cracking him in half and throwing him into a wall, I would assume. Ren, by the way, he actually he's interesting because he's going to sacrifice himself against Vader. He tells the rest of the knights to run and that he's going to handle it. The ones with the horn is, by the way, the one with the horn is Mirinda. Mirand, is that it? No, Bazaar. It's Bazza. Bazaar. Anyways, here we go. After that, they start getting a little fight. He actually has a red lightsaber. Vader says that's not supposed to be there. The point of this, and we kind of mentioned it last week in passing, because we may or may not have seen a preview. I'm not saying that we did. And if we did, I'm not saying how we saw it. But the lightsaber is named Ren. Is named after his old master, who's Ren, who is not this Ren. So there was another Ren who they eventually ended up killing or died. And that's where the red lightsaber from. And we assume that the red lightsaber, if we're still going on what this was originally supposed to be out, we assume that the red lightsaber was stolen as a Sith artifact by a group of teenage kids that were troublemakers and had an affinity for the dark side of the Force, like almost worship.
Okay, so the current Ren didn't kill the old Ren because there was one line in there where Vader says, "Where'd you get that?" or something, and he says, "I earned it," or something to that effect. He did, so he didn't kill the old Ren to get it?
Oh, we're not sure if he did or didn't.
No, he killed Stimpy.
He earned it by killing the old Ren. That's what I'm saying. He might have earned it by killing the old Ren. So
I like that.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that the Knights of Ren are a little bit more organized by. I'm going to flash the name for once. Okay, you got it, Jedi. All right, there can only be one. That's because I'm doing it. The funny part about it is they are a little bit more of rule of one or rule of two than the actual Sith are. So that's kind of interesting, I thought.
You know, that's good for regular TV these days. That's no longer one of the fan words. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, Jedi.
Yeah,
Sensei.
they say it in Supernatural all the time. Remember when Dean Winchester started dropping the.
Yeah, but I like to see. I like that Vader tells him, he goes, "How the mighty is fallen," which that means there's more stories to come for the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, of course there is.
Definitely.
We've seen it.
Which
in
is
the
good.
comic,
I mean,
right?
yeah, they did the holiday special about. I mean, this is something they're really trying to fix, which is good. It also admits that they screwed up the movies because they're trying to fix it with this stuff. So he jumps out the window to get away, which is also ingenious, and he uses a little bit of force to push him from the end. Then the key that they were trying to steal, all of a sudden Vader gets it. And he goes to grab it back, but they don't have enough force power, so he gets all the other Knights of Ren that are still alive to shoot at Vader, which distracts him enough for Ren to get the. I didn't show that. Ren got the key back. Okay.
The key.
The end. So we have the key now. All right.
They have the key to One-Eyed Willie.
I guess
But
we don't
Vader,
know.
Key to
but
the
Vader
signal.
knows it's them, and he's going to be after them.
Yes.
Yes, he will be. He
It
will
was
be.
supposed to be a quick grab in and out. No one knows who it was, but Vader knows it's them.
Yeah, I don't know. I must have skipped the last page when I downloaded it. That's unfortunate. Sorry, but yeah. So now they think he's gonna be after. They might, or because he actually does say, like, at the last thing, he goes, the Knights of. They say, well, now he knows about us, and he goes, the Knights of Ren is what Vader says. So he might be hunting him down, but he might not. He might also be going to Kira because he knows what Kira does. That Kira's probably part of it. He'll figure it all out. It's a good book, man. I don't know. I really like it. Star Wars. We got a bunch of covers. I guess we needed Yak Face.
Yeah, you want that yak face cover, don't you?
Joe Camel, baby.
For that.
That middle covers something. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, next week we got Star Wars coming out. We also got Obi-Wan and the 8,000 covers and the 20,000 store variants. Yeah, whatever.
I got them all.
FOC, we got Bounty Hunters. This is surprising. I wanted people's opinion and chat's opinion on this. Does anybody else think that the Japanese, what is it? I can't read underneath the thing now.
Miyazawa?
Miyazawa. Doesn't the Miyazawa kind of look like the best cover out of these?
Well, yeah.
Why is that surprising?
Garbage. What?
You said it was surprising, though. Why is that surprising?
Well, not so, well, because
Well, out of these three, yeah, definitely.
I
Yeah,
definitely
you don't like
like
the
the Django
spooky
covers.
hands that the Cities is doing?
that Sprouse is supposed to. Is that Sprouse a ratio? I think it is. I think it's supposed
Gosh,
to be
I
a
hope
ratio.
not.
I think
I
they
don't
are.
know.
That's what I thought
God,
they were supposed to
these
be
last
switching
four
to.
are. There's no way I'm paying ratio for that crap
God, no.
or under ratio. I wouldn't even pay
The
half. ratio.
Supreme Leader. It's Supreme Leader with Palpatine. It's the zombie
IDK.
Palpatine.
I thought they said ratio originally, or what? That was a rumor, but Steve says not a ratio.
So the
Yeah, I don't-
question
Okay.
I think they
is,
changed their minds on
I
that.
looked for it
That's
too.
a good thing,
That's
though.
why I was asking because I looked after last week when somebody said they're all ratios. I went back and looked, and I did not see it as a ratio. So thank you, Steve Ford, My Art and Comics, for that one. The next one, well, it's good that you're saying that because I'm going to go to the next book that's on FOC, and there's another one of the Japanese creators, and I think I actually don't like it. I think Jedi. I actually don't. The A cover is the best cover I think out of this one, but
Oh,
What I
I
will
still kind of
say-
like the big cover. What's wrong
what
with
I
it?
will say about the B cover, or the Japanese one, is that's a different version of Valance, so I'll have to buy it in the background. And then we, of course, get the Sprouse with the.
The first appearance of on the cover of
I kind of liked it till you said that was
Bad Batch.
Balance. That looks nothing like Balance.
I know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
the
got
Bad Batch, though, it needs something. There's no background there.
Yeah,
It-
hopefully
it's
it's
too much
not
white.
how you put a board, but I think it is because the borders usually, if they're going to change it up, they don't have the border on there already. I mean, is that originally they were ratio, none of them are now. Yeah, that's because they weren't probably selling enough, and now they're going to overload it, and there's going to be a ton of these things, and it's pretty ugly. But there's first cover collectors, so
Sabe on the cover A reminds me of like when Hasbro makes like the action figure character's gun like as big as the character.
Mm.
Like
that,
this giant rifle.
I thought you were going to say she's just like the variant of Padme. Well, we'll take the white outfit she was wearing. We'll just make this one black.
That's another thing that's disappointing. If you're going to go ham, at least put Omega in there too, right? Go all in.
How do you know
Yeah,
she's
they
not
could've-
flying the ship?
Or that
They got to
cover.
save that for another first.
These are the more I think about it, they're only doing
I
four.
did a first cover. in one of the
Theoretically,
last
she
issues.
wasn't in the Bad Batch until Crosshair left. So
Now that I look at it, the only one that I think I might actually like make sure I buy for more than $1 is the Book of Fett one. Because you're right, this it's kind of lame. All right, that's all it for FOC. But whatever. Don't overspend on those, by the way, boys and girls. Steve Horn has said it first. Oh, no. Where did he say it? They are not ratio. So that means just like the rest of them, the Mando book, whatever else, Bo-Katana, they're going to be heavily ordered.
Yeah.
They're going to be out there.
But that, like James
Mando
Crowder just said to wait for the second print because there'll be one probably if they're popular.
Well, the first Fennec Shan will probably be a second print.
They didn't do a second print of Bo-Katan. No, it won't. Why would it, Dom? That's not how it works.
The first appearance, really big first appearance of a character, and she's more popular than Bo-Katan.
You're talking about the cover appearance? It's not a
cover.
first appearance. You're talking about the cover.
No.
It's open order, though. It doesn't matter. On open order, that doesn't matter because there's so many.
It's like the first appearance of Mando on the cover and the child.
No,
yeah,
that's because they got a lot of.
Yeah.
You could literally buy that book. The market
you could buy it for $1, but they made another one because there were just a lot of people talking about
that, and they
I
screwed
have
up
the
FOC on that one.
Yeah, they screwed up FOC. No, the problem with the Mando, let's revisit because maybe we have to readdress this. The Mando thing, what happened was the day FOC orders had to be in, the day after that, they dropped the cover. So on late FOC, they dropped the cover. They then extended it, as we said on the show, and they opened up, and it became.
I still say, though, I wouldn't put it past Marvel making a second print if it sells enough.
Yeah, I would not either. But they didn't do it.
They love their second prints.
What?
They love their second prints.
They do, but they actually have to sell. There's a certain amount that a threshold that they need to sell those too. So I'm not quite sure they're just going to do second prints to do second prints.
Okay.
And I believe that both books, the Book of Fett book, because I really do think that Sprouse cover is the best one out of three. And obviously this Bad Batch one is going to set. From what I know, it's ordered well already. That's all I'm going to say. So, that's not saying that they won't do it because you're right. They do like second and third prints, but it's not the same situation as the Mando book, which it's a $1 book.
Right. So. Well, we'll see.
Bob likes the
Miyazawa.
Don't spend too much money on those books. I'll sell them to you in 3 months for $1. Okay. Just don't spend too much money on the books. Jeez. All right. Next up.
FOMO.
No FOMO.
Nobody said anything about spending money on it. I'm just saying that.
He did. He said
Cover price.
He's talking.
He said it's going to be the best. That doesn't mean he's going to spend a bunch of money on it.
Yeah, it's not like, you're even $30 for it.
He's like, it's going to be, is it? No, it's
and
not.
just saying it looks the best.
No, he said,
I
just said it's $1 in 3 months. He said, no, it's not. We'll see. I go, dude, don't spend money. He's giving him. That's how you get FOMO. You start making excuses on how they're going to be rare and hard to find when they're not. All right.
What are you talking about? We were JJ and I were talking about Bob Darcy's comment.
Oh, what Bob Darcy?
You're talking about Dom.
What is this? Is that the one? Is that the one that?
Never mind.
Yeah, he just said he liked that one best.
Move along. Hit the button, Jedi. Move along.
No. I want to go back. Yeah, this was a good one. Well, dude, that's not my fault. Bob Darcy's 2 minutes behind in the patterns today, man. All right.
What?
What are you talking about?
Never mind.
His comment came. Oh, get on. What's next? Are we doing S3 or what are we doing next?
We should probably do tier list first because S3, the last 2 books kind of tie into that. So,
all tier list. Do we have a promo for this? So we're not doing ranking top 10 because of Tales for the Jedi. We are doing a promo list. Hopefully,
we got going.
Okay. A separate comment that nobody's talking about while everybody else is talking about a different comment in this one, but let's continue.
Yeah, I don't think I do have an opening for this. Not on this one. We only have it for TAC.
Put it in. I'll see what I can do. Sticks. I bet you there will be in abundance. All right.
I'm excited for this.
We are going to use the tier maker for this. The question, it's not a hard fit since we decided that it's JJ. Pat yourself on the back. Got it right, and it's an anthology. Yes, he actually physically just pat himself on the back. We decided to come up with a list of stories, some canon, some not, some just whatever, that we would like to see in an anthology, much like the one Tales from the Jedi is going to be, because there's a very misconception, and luckily I think a lot of Dark Side fans and people got out ahead of it, and it was like, what an anthology means. It means they're not going to do the comic. They're going to do different side stories.
It means multiple stories from
probably
multiple different directors and writers and
exactly
done different ways.
I have a way of blundering up the English language pretty bad. But at least I understand what it is. I'm not quite sure people understand what the word anthology was.
Yeah.
All right.
Creep Show.
Like what?
Creep Show. Remember the show Creep Show?
Creep Show.
We have
The anthology horror
multiple little
series.
anthology horror stories, but this will be
Fair enough.
Star Wars.
Or are you afraid of the dark for you Nickelodeon fans?
Afraid of you, Dark. No. All right.
You're confusing it. We're just really
yeah,
confusing Marco now.
With the pop culture references. We already got some in news. We'll just go down the line and see what we get. Oh, this is mine. So I put
Now,
this in
wait.
for.
I want to clarify before we start. This is how well it will fit the Tales of the Jedi show, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
We tried to
Yes.
keep it a little bit. We threw some random ones in there, but also too, you might not want to see it. Some of the tail. Well, no,
It's
It's
definitely
probably-
want to see, but it's also a question of how well it fits the show, right?
a little bit.
A little bit.
It's the narrative.
Oh,
Exactly.
well, you can be fair and just be honest
in
when
there. Put some horseshit books in there, Jay. Just gonna say it real quick. I was like, I'm glad he is because he's gonna have to defend this crap. All right. First up, I did this fun, and I could see it. This is, I guess, this is part of it too, because when we start talking about Tales from the Jedi, the possibilities of who could be telling the Tales from the Jedi extended very long. And when I was explaining it, I was explaining like from a certain point of view, or for those people that are pre new canon, you had Tales from Jabba's Palace and stuff like that. Those are all anthology works. So we know how Star Wars likes to do these things because they've done them before.
Star Wars Tales is the same thing too.
Yeah. Tales is the same thing too.
Real
So
quick,
out of that, we actually did pull a Tales story, one that we mentioned, and we actually put on a shirt at one point. It was Fett Club, which has to deal with Dooku. That's
just to
actually
address Steven Guzman's comment, we will get to that shortly. That's in the next segment. So,
Oh, yeah, that's about this.
the Tales of the Jedi #1 book.
Who's Barry Orton's? Yeah, we will talk about Jedi one. Yeah.
All right. Anyways, Fett Club. Tell us what Fett Club's about.
Fett Club is pretty much Count Dooku's trying to recruit somebody to end up being the clone person. It turns out it's Django. He starts Fett Club. He ends up killing all the people. It's a fun short story, very animated. I pretty much put this one in here. I highly doubt they're going to do this one because if they go just the realm of that they have to tell stories anyways, and they want to do a fun off one, they can. I don't quite think they're going to go with that format.
You sure?
However, we have a shirt that has
This shirt right here.
Yeah, right there. So if they do decide to do Fat Club, we'll know because they will pull that shirt
I'll
down.
pull that shirt quicker than
They'll probably pull it anyways.
What's that?
I said they'll probably pull it anyway.
the next sweep. Obi-Wan. When Obi-Wan shows, they're probably going to pull
I
everything.
know they're probably not doing this, but just because I think it'd be hilarious if they did,
Yeah.
Fat Club, I'm putting it in maybe. Maybe.
All right. Listen, this is how I'm going to measure a lot of these. What's the name of the show?
Yeah.
Tales of the what?
Tales of the Jedi.
No, hey,
What does the story not have in it?
Hey,
Hey,
Jedi
hey,
can
let's-
tell tales about other
have
people.
fun. Which person doesn't like to have fun on this panel? Let's see. Okay, JJ, what were you saying?
No way.
Okay, well, let's see what the chat has to say. Chat, don't do me wrong. What does the chat have to say?
No way.
Tag and Bing. No way, Joe. Get out of here.
Yep, you don't got Joe.
Hey, no way for Wayseeker either. You guys are bums. You're not funny. All right, get him out of here. But no way.
Yeah,
They put it
it's probably not going to happen. As
We're
much
not
as
gonna
we
have
want it to.
fun anyways.
It would be
Sell
funny,
hell
though. That
All
would
right.
be a better fit for if they went back to like what was it, Detours or whatever, the other
Yeah,
animated.
they went detours. They'd probably be way.
Yeah,
Now,
that would
this-
fit better there.
Now I know Grumpy McGrumpants is gonna say it's called Tales from the Jedi, but as you know, Grumpy McGrumpants, two reasons I put this in here: Lost Tribe of Sith, because one, thank you, Joe. Number two, I always talk about the planet of the Siths, and if it's a Jedi telling tales of Jedi, one of the tales is the planet of the Siths and how it started. And in Lost Jedi, there is a Jedi who has a journal and is documenting these places, and they're looking for this planet where the Sith crashed on and the other Sith came and they ended up mirroring and it ended up turning into the new form of Sith. And that's why Sith no longer are red with the tentacles, that they can be anybody, is
This
because of
to clarify,
storyline.
this is the race Sith, not the
Order.
people that call themselves like Sith
Right.
dark side.
Well,
users.
it kind of converts because it's a combination of the two. When you read the story, it's how the race Sith merge with the Sith people. Once again, if you're telling tales, and we've seen it before in like Dooku's Lost Order, and stuff at the librarian, like the off-limit books that they've been able to sell. The problem is with it is these are stories that do come up. Not a lot, but they are the ones that they're always talking about. And actually,
maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
conflicts. We got conflicting reports so far from the group.
This is one of those that's like, it's maybe for me because it's definitely something they could use. We've seen them talk at least vaguely about like the ancient journals of the Jedi and the ancient Jedi documents, like in our favorite movie trilogy and stuff. So like, I don't see it being that far-fetched. I see it being a maybe. Will it be exactly the story? Probably not, but it'll be a close version of it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe they use one person's name or they use some format of it. But that's what I'm saying. I have it as a maybe because with the Jedi stuff, you need Sith sell shit. Let's be real. Nobody turns into Star Wars to hear stories of goody two-shoe fucking Jedi.
All right, well, I'm going to try something different with my suggestion here. Jedi, do you want to see this?
Me?
Yeah, do you want to see this? You're going to decide for me whether this is yes, you want to see it.
I don't know much about them. I was going to say maybe just because just going to throw maybe.
Yeah, that's how we set it up originally. JJ came in and ran shot at it. That's called Tales from the
Jedi. You all can measure it however you want. I'm measuring it based on what it actually is going to be.
So there's no Jedi in this story at all?
There is. There's
So
Jedi in the story. They're actually actively looking for the whole thing.
They're
it's very long.
researching the Sith, the race of the Sith.
It's actually perfect for a one shot because you have a Jedi going through space and then doing what happens in this book where he crash lands on the planet and then he finds a planet where there's Sith, the race of people, and other occupants that were in a ship and crashed, and then they ended up coming together. So that's how it would be. Becoming, and which would create the whole Sith Order.
Yeah, so where are we going to put this? I actually kind of would think this could fit because it is kind of contained. They could tell a tale of that time.
I think it's good
and touching that time frame. You know what I mean? Like they could just dip a toe.
Yeah, I think it's good because it's a self-contained story, like Joe said. Go ahead, Dom.
No, I'm saying that's the thing on how far they're willing to go back. You have to think
You're
about
not going to canonize it. This might not be canon.
I'm just saying, I know it's not going to be canon, but the fact is that even if it's not canon, and
we don't know that
Anthology out there.
To clarify, we don't know that the show's canon or not canon.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying that. But you want to put something that's going to play it safe. More characters that we know in a regular timeline, because people aren't going to really know about these unless they're diehard Star Wars fans. That really go into the books.
But they don't have to be though.
Yeah,
that's how you introduce people to
the other anthology that we saw was called Visions, and we didn't know anything about any of those characters.
Yeah, they introduced
they're
people
all
to
brand new characters. They weren't based on the regular timeline.
Obviously, Bubba and that one, but
but Dom, I mean, we got a whole new trilogy based off of new characters like Rey and Finn and Poe. Like they're not afraid to give us.
Based on what Marco just said, I'm going to say no way to every one of them.
Well, no, I think it'd be a better version of that Jedi. So
look, maybe I can say maybe
better. But you don't know.
I still don't think it's going to be. It might be.
It's even older than that.
Unaired cartoons that they didn't show, and they're going to put them in the anthology.
I think sorry, JJ. I was trying to answer the question from Wookiee. That's what I was saying.
It's even older than that.
No, I agree. Yeah. This story is. I agree with that. But I'm thinking he's asking, does High Republic fit with the Tales from the Jedi?
Oh.
And maybe, but I think that's kind of, they're going to, because it's their big focus. We believe, at least some of us believe here on the show, that has its own, it's already got a carved out market.
So I thought about suggesting some of that for this list, but we cover it so much that I didn't want to seem too redundant, but at the same time too, like, I mean, I highly see them probably doing maybe one.
Okay, so when we're going to do one of Dark Disciples, and since that has, or not Dark Disciples, but I think we're going to do Lost Jedi, and if we do Lost,
there's things on this list that are tied into High Republic.
We have stuff tied into High Republic. It's kind of
more.
Where
are we putting this one? Let's put this one down.
And then actually, I think maybe to a good fit.
We're only on the second one.
You got three
good. I like a fit.
Good fit.
Maybe.
Yeah,
We got a lot of maybes, so it's a maybe or a good fit.
Oh, we got a couple maybes. We got some good fits too.
Yeah, no.
He's got a good fit.
That's why I mean between the two. So where
I
we
mean, good
put
fit. It's our first good fit.
All right, fine. I like it. That's what I was
I
going to pick.
there at least be something like it in there is what I'm saying for that. All right, the Cad Bane versus Boba Fett. We're doing it just because it always gets brought up, no matter what. This always gets brought up when you hear animation. I'd love to see this, but I think this.
No way.
Too.
Nope.
I think but I think this is exactly where Boba Fett goes.
I think we're all no way on this one.
Yeah, that should be easy.
You just saw
saw
it in a way,
Dom doesn't
more or less.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Dom
In a
No,
way,
we didn't,
not
but
the exact
they-
same thing, but I don't know.
I don't think they want to burn it though. I think if they
You know
want
what?
to,
Maybe.
Jedi and Dom. What do you two think about this one?
No way. No.
I think maybe.
No. Sorry.
Right. There's no way they're doing this. There really isn't.
I don't
But
think
it
so.
works with Tales of the Jedi. Too big of an event, yeah. I just don't understand why they put it into this one.
yeah, they wouldn't put it into like a little tiny story like this because again, they would milk that and put it on
Plus,
another.
hopefully we get to see it
series of
live
some kind.
action. Plus, hopefully we get to see it live action, which is
That's what I mean. Yeah, they wouldn't.
so put it in no way for that too.
Alright.
All
I'm
right.
just saying, not that we will never see it. I'm just saying, not for this show. I don't think it'll fit for this show.
Yeah.
Because we go to JJ's, it doesn't involve Jedi's. So
Yeah, I think some of those are out there too. Next up, Nihilus Unseen Unheard.
this was mine. I like this story. It's a nice little.
I
quick,
do. It's also a
self-contained-
nice little one shot. It's also
Tell the people what it's about.
Go ahead.
I just want to see Nihilus. I'm not gonna lie. I just want
Well, it
to see
kind of
Nihilus.
tells the backstory of Nihilus, and it also talks about what's her name, the one with no eyes that has got the feeling. What's her name? Who's the other Jedi? The Jedi that turns.
The hell is her name?
The hell's her name? Why am I brain farting on her name?
I don't know. Same here. I was just looking at it the other day. I was rereading it.
JJ, do you got it offhand? Do you remember what her name was?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What?
Sarah, the girl I can't see that has the wraps around her eyes. They show her with no eyes here. She was a Jedi and she turned. She's like kind of.
What is it?
I'm just thinking
You're
Mitra,
Luke?
but
No.
Mitra's
Oh, it's not Mitra.
the exile. That's not right.
Yeah.
Can't
Anyways,
remember. It's not Treya. Treya is the old lady.
Treya's not. It's not Treya. Because either way, it's got a Jedi turning, and it's actually that story written in Tales is pretty much from a point of view of a Jedi almost already. Like you could see a Jedi telling that story because it almost has that feeling of, especially doing it in black and white, that it was a tale that was being told. Once again, coming out of a Tales book, I think it's a pretty good fit.
Yeah, like I said, I just want to see it, and I want Nihilus canonized.
I know, but just because you want to see it doesn't mean. Well, we don't know.
And that's also because I think this would actually fit. Out of my suggestions I made, this one I could actually see, as you pointed out, it would fit. Like it could.
Jedi, did you give it a thumbs up too?
Yeah, I think it's a good fit.
Good fit. JJ, what do you think?
From what I remember, the story, maybe.
It just you want to know why? Because it's from her point of view.
Lopez wants his.
I don't see them. I don't see them. So this dips its. For those unaware, this dips its toes into Knights of the Old Republic because of Nihilus. I don't see them dipping their toe into that ocean more than I say lake, even ocean that way.
But see, I think that's not even an ocean. I mean, that's not dipping your toe even into the ocean. That's literally dipping it into like a feeder stream, like Nile.
Well,
like it's tribute.
But once you open that door to Knights of the Old Republic, you open that door to everything. And we know we'll be covering it maybe in a week or so.
We're covering it next week. That's why we're doing a special on Wednesday so we can do the Cultural Show on Sunday.
See,
But like I said, that's opening your door to an awful lot, and I don't know that they're going to do it that way.
if they're going to show something from Knights of the Old Republic, it's going to be Revan. That's what they're going to go with.
I would hope that
Before
they would
Nihilus.
do it in an anthology series. No, I don't think you could do Revan. I don't think Revan fits in an anthology.
Yeah.
Because if you know the story of Revan, like they didn't even do him in a comic book, right? Like, we'll be honest, like that. I know that's his first appearance for 9, but it's not like that's not like that isn't like. There's novels out there that are really the full story of Revan and some Tale stuff, but like in this one, I think it's just enough to give Knights of the Old Republic, like it's so far away from Revan, but at the same point, it's still so close to Knights of Old Republic / Revan. You know, I mean, it's not like they're doing Darth Malgus or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like it's close.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an in-between point between Malgus and Revan. Nile is like there because the Tribune, and then you could go both ways. You see what I'm saying? And how I think it's more of how the story's told in that book Tales, if I recall correctly, which I typically do. Like it is almost from a third point of view, correct, Pete?
Yeah, sort of. It's it's kind of spoken from a first person, but she's also not saying her name. I was just reading it.
Yeah,
like my people, the mirror, whatever.
That's what I'm saying. So it's from like a third. I think like how they do it, that could be a format they could use in Tales from the Jedi, and it would be pretty good. So maybe.
I like it. That's why I picked it. But
why
I leave it to you guys to decide whether it's a good fit or maybe.
I say good fit.
I say maybe.
Maybe. JJ says what? Are you maybe? You look
Maybe.
like
I said maybe.
Maybe.
What Jedi said what? No?
I said, yeah, good fit.
Good fit. And Dom says good fit or no?
No, I said maybe.
No, we had two of them. We had
No,
three good fits.
maybe. I'm in a maybe too. We got a bunch of
You
names.
said good fit a second ago.
All right, so
It.
Jordan the maybe
Don't
then.
be hemming and hawing now.
I'm maybeing it.
You're already on our boat.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Anyways, well, Pete did what he wants to do because he's in charge of it. So
Yeah, I'm controlling
these
this.
things on Pete, not me. All right. Next up, the Sabe. I'll always say her name wrong.
Sabe.
Sabe. So a
Like
Sabe
Sabe.
origin storyline.
So so I guess this would just basically be the story of Sabe since she was selected by the Padme's captain of the guard to be one of her handmaidens. She was the first one. She was the closest to Padme, arguably, but probably yes. She
Would it not be an Anakin
actually
story, though? Would it not be through Anakin Skywalker when he was a
Say
Jedi?
again?
Like if they told this in the series. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, no, I mean I was just giving a little background. Not that too many people need.
We're going to review the book soon anyway. So
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, this story I'm thinking would be because if you read whenever we review the book, you'll see that there is some definite animosity between herself and Anakin, soon to be Vader. So her story actually begins probably around Padme's death because she vows to find out what happened and why and et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, so is there a Jedi in this? Well, if you affiliate Anakin, soon to be Vader, yes, there is a Jedi tie, but other than that, obviously she's not a Force user. So,
well, Obi had to be a tie too. If they use different Jedis to tell the tales of Jedi instead of doing a holocron version of it, which I think either using the librarian, a holocron, or the wills would probably pay off. I mean, I could see this because this is an Anakin story you can tell, which doesn't beat a dead horse with an Obi-Wan or a Palpatine story. You know what I mean? Like it gives you a little bit of an advantage because
and we may be about to see some of this in the comics, right? The way the comics are kind of heading.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So I have a maybe-ish on it.
Yeah, I could do a maybe, but
No way.
I'm with Dom. Sorry.
It might be.
I mean, I understand. No way. I'm a Sabe fan, so I'll say maybe because I don't think it's a great fit. It's a maybe fit, but I understand the no way also.
yeah, there's a lot of
no ways on it. All right, that's fair enough.
So we don't have any maybes yet.
We have zero maybes.
I tried.
I tried to.
Maybe, but it didn't fucking happen. All right, this is
Pick the wrong ones.
Dom, go ahead. Was this you, Dom, or who was this? Was this Jedi? Jedi, this is you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jedi, and this was everybody.
Oh,
Jedi, go ahead.
okay.
There's kind of everybody.
Definitely Jedi in this one. I mean, for sure. I mean, the story of the love between a Sith or apprentice, Sith apprentice, and a Jedi.
Well, excellent.
Love, sacrifice, tragedy, etc. Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about what this book is about. It's a great book. I think it would be a great.
BK, you're on
story.
timeout. Put him on timeout.
What, for the maybe?
Yeah, he's on timeout for that. You don't troll this book. All right.
Darth Lopez says no. He gets the time.
The only thing with this one is I don't know if
think
if we're
Lopez is doing
talking
the
an
other one.
anthology.
Oh,
If we're talking
Maybe, I don't
anthology means one episode, a one and done episode. I don't know how great a fit this would be in a one episode.
Yeah, that's what makes it tough.
If that's the format we're sticking with.
well, I mean, it was one story when you think about it.
Yeah.
Well, can you condense that down to one episode? I don't know. You'd have to probably definitely play a lot of tricks and removing a lot of stuff.
Well, apparently this was a story that they were going to have in the Clone Wars cartoon that
It
never
wasn't
made.
a one episode
Right.
story, though. I don't think.
You
It
know,
was
so
arc.
it was a story arc that was scrapped from the original Clone Wars. So
Right.
it could fit possibly if that's the way they're doing it. If they're going to take those old stories.
I think the point of that is, Dom, if you saw what they did for that, if you saw the animatron, whatever they call it, that they animatics, it was one out of probably going to be 4 episodes.
Yeah.
So
And you could have a double length episode or even a 2-part. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to
That's
be
what I'm
one
wondering.
episode in an anthology.
it could have a 2-part, or it could run 40. I mean, how much do you need to get into? Relationship. Oh, we have a secret plan for you. Oh, you don't have to get into all the nitty gritty of it. They saw each other. They fall.
Look at Visions. I can't remember which one. There's 2 episodes. Was it Ninth Jedi? I think was like twice as long as almost all the other ones.
The Ninth Jedi was like one of the better episodes.
I think this is probably one of the best fits. It plays right into it.
Good fit.
It's just the timing. That's my only reason why I put a maybe is, again, I don't know if you could squeeze this in one episode. It really depends on the format of this show.
Oh wait, so now we're worried how well it fits into the
Yeah, because
Now
the
we're-
Nihilist thing fits perfectly in my mind of what they could do for an anthology show.
Okay,
They could
well,
do that
I
quick
think if you
story.
don't think this is a
15
good
minutes.
If this or something like this is not what this show's about, then
I think it's a
I'm not
good
quite
fit.
sure I want
I-
the show, right? Like
Yeah,
if Dark Disciples isn't a good fit for this, then
Yeah.
fucking
it's a story about a Jedi who goes undercover with a former Sith apprentice. They fall. I mean, it's hard to go. It's hard to go more good fit than this. in my
Exactly.
opinion.
this is probably the best fit. So
Super fit.
you bet, yeah, super hit.
Well,
The people are not with you, BK. The people are not with you.
even though we're not even halfway through this, I'm going to throw this out there. It's just like when we all got excited for What If, and then they said, well, we're going to do all What If, but we're only going to tie it to the movie stuff. Everybody's thinking of all the great What If stories they could adapt, they could do animated.
Before-
We can get a
Get
ton
out of here.
stuff
Next
introduced. And then they go, nope, we're just going to base it off of stuff
Oh,
we've already
dude, we're
given.
not doing this. Okay, what book is this out of? This is Tales.
Skippy the Jedi Droid is from Star Wars Tales.
Which
I
one,
forget which one. Was it 20? Was it 10? I
It
don't
was
know.
1. It was in 1.
Was it Star Wars Tales 1?
Yeah, he was in
Oh,
1.
okay. But yeah,
I
so
think when I looked it up, he was in 1.
basically tells the story of why R5D4 has a bad motivator. And but really, how he saved the galaxy with his Jedi powers.
You can all give JJLs in the chat for this one.
So he basically he realizes that through different things he has Jedi powers, and he realizes through his Jedi powers that Luke Skywalker is a savior to the galaxy, and that R2D2 contains all the plans that will help the rebellion. So basically, he sacrifices himself with the Jawas because Luke Skywalker is about to select him, but then he has a bad motivator, and therefore he sacrifices himself for the good of the Republic. It was a good story. It was a good story. This is like one of the most memorable Star Wars Tales stories for
this
me.
man. No, garbage. Not only do I not want to see it, if this is what they make it up, I don't want to see any of it. No way.
You just, JJ, you just brought in Moon Knight, Marco.
No.
I have Wayseeker on my side at least.
Yeah, that's because
Droids.
Wayseeker goes Tales 1. Want to sell that book, so hopefully it shows up.
No,
Oh, this story's not good.
no, he was confirming the tail one.
He was confirming because I didn't know which one it was.
Yeah, I was unsure too once I started thinking about it when I grabbed the slides because I was rushing to get this stuff.
Boo. Nope.
But I guess I'm outvoted.
There's a lot
Anybody
of
else on the
I-
panel? Anybody else on the panel want to weigh in?
Anybody on
I
the panel?
think maybe-
Droid powered
Maybe.
Jedi saves the Republic.
Maybe because they have a droid show coming. We don't know what the droid show's about. He could be in the droid show.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe we can squeeze that in over there. I don't know if this would fit. And to Marco's point, if this does fit what they do for the show, then I'm like, now I am concerned whether I want to.
It was a good story.
Not a good story.
It's like an 8-page comic. It's perfect for an anthology.
That's fair. That is fair.
Put in no way. All right, Book of Hondo.
I just want it. That's all.
Pete just wants this.
I kind of want it too.
I know it doesn't relate to any Jedi.
No.
But how cool would it be just to get a simple little one-off Hondo story, a Book of Hondo episode, and then when they do a season 2, we can get another Book of Hondo episode. It could be like a running thing.
That actually
in the anthology.
makes sense. Like, if who's going to tell these tales of Jedi? If it's not like the librarian, it could be different people, and how much they vested in Hondo. Why wouldn't you have Hondo telling a story about Jedis? He deals with them all the time. He's traveled the world. He's captured a couple.
This is actually maybe for me.
Maybe.
For that reason, we could get Hondo or someone like Hondo, but maybe Hondo is like kind of a narrator for a story involving Jedi.
Benicio del Toro's DJ.
Yeah. No, I mean, you give him narrator.
I don't think we'll get the actual like anything from the actual book of Hondo or anything like that, but
well, we don't know what's actually in the book of Hondo.
well, I don't think we'll get it for like where. Well, I don't know. Maybe we will get it where he's like transcribing it to a story or something. I don't know.
Yes, it's a
You know what they
story.
could do with
Sounds
that?
like a
They
one-off
could
little
merchandise the
thing.
shit out of that. If they do one episode from the book of Hondo, guarantee that shit will be in the
You think they killed the possibility of that, by the way, by saying the book of Boba Fett, and now they're going to say the book of Hondo, and everybody's going to hate it. Just out of curiosity, I thought of that when we made this. Like, what if people will hate on book of things from now on?
Yeah, maybe they'll call it Hondo's Journal or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they'll think they get salvation of it. I have it as a maybe too. So I think that's where we're going.
That's our first maybe.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's fine by me. I'll take a maybe. I knew it was a long shot. I just wanted it. That's all. That's why I put it out there in the universe.
Dude, wait. I don't see where's Darth Lopez's no. Darth Lopez said maybe.
He said maybe.
Oh,
Sam says no.
Okay.
Sam says no.
Well, I mean that's a from. All right, next up, Star Wars Republic. No.
Yes. Jeffrey, they could mess it up. I
want to see this. This is
Why
okay.
you tell people why they're not going to do this and we're not going to see this? Go ahead.
Because it was awesome. It was like one of the greatest battles put to Star Wars comics. Basically, so in Jedi Masters is to lead this giant battle with the clones and everything during the Clone Wars. And if I remember right, I can't remember which master gets killed off. The master gets killed off. All the generals get killed off. So Anakin has to take command. Basically, it's like a bunch of Padawans trying to lead the fight in this really bloody battle versus the Separatists. So
the only
I like
problem
this
is,
battle.
The only problem is they've satired that with the Lego stuff, a bunch of stuff. They've satired that, especially with the
Who
Lego.
cares if they talk about it in Lego? I want to see like the actual battle.
No, what I'm saying is they satired the shit out of it. So I don't think they're doing that. I don't think they're gonna.
They satired out of what? They've never shown this battle in anything.
They had the little rookie or the little Padawans go out and save it, use the clone force before to go out.
But the Padawans don't save it. The Padawans die. Well, some of them do.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying they're also not doing that. They're also not going to start murdering Padawans. So
You don't know how dark it's going to get. Everybody died in a couple episodes of What If. Like everybody was dying in What If. So,
well, they just made
Fair.
Obi-Wan G-, so I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to go much further away from that with this. Once again, JJ's trying to oversell a cool story, which it is a cool story, but the likelihood of it happening is no.
well, let's go to the chat and see what the chat says, because I'm getting different feedback. I'm getting good fit feedback.
Yeah, we got good fit. We got I want this too, please.
Yeah, you can want it, but no, time out. JJ, you told us when we were pitching our shit, it's not about what we want.
But this fits. It has Jedi. It has multiple Jedi in it. And it tells a battle about the Clone Wars. It fits.
No, it's a good story, but it doesn't fit. They're not having murdered ass Padawans come out there. It doesn't fit.
I think it. I don't think it's that. That's the reason why it doesn't fit. That's the only reason why you think it doesn't fit. Because the JJ's point,
It's somewhat
right,
violent. Yeah, I know.
It involves Jedi. It's them telling the
Also, it's
history of the battle
animated.
they
I
were
mean,
involved in.
to a degree, you can tone up or tone down it's not like you're going to see like people getting decapitated in live action or anything.
Do you think when you say Tales to the Jedi do you think the story to normies? I could see Hondo passing to normies or casuals.
We saw big battles in Clone Wars.
I could see Nile
that's
passing to normies or casuals.
But the
Dark
fact that
Disciples-
the characters
Oh,
die actually makes it fit better for the anthology in the sense that you get like a Saving Private Ryan moment where you get that sense of loss and sacrifice by these soldiers going out there doing what they do and giving the ultimate sacrifice. Like,
Go
I
ahead.
think it fits.
so if I could just
Hey,
I'll say maybe on this simply because I mean JJ they really going to need to sell me on why we've seen battles. We've seen Clone War battles in Clone Wars 100 times. We've seen it in live action already. It's not just some Clone War battle is not exciting me. I need to know more.
This is different. It's more a battle they lose. Or
They
a
do lose
cathartic victory.
battle, but they've lost battles before too in some of the Clone Wars stuff. That's what I'm saying.
but-
Like,
Yeah, but
We'll
not
put it
like,
this way. To me, this would be a story that would be good because it puts stakes to Star Wars. And remember when we reviewed Bad Batch,
and
I always used to
that's
say
why
there's
I'm
no
on board.
stakes because nobody dies or anything. I want to
Yeah.
see stakes.
This isn't
Just put
G.I.
stakes
Joe.
to
We
it.
see the parachutes pop up when the plane gets blown up. Like, that's what I think it would be different in this story. It's like, yes,
But-
they lost, but everybody's okay. We lost the battle, but everybody's fine.
I'll be honest. I think JJ's using the back ass end of the argument. 2 arguments ago for Fett Club, he said it's not a good fit because I don't want it there because it actually can't.
I said it's not a good fit because there were no Jedi.
Okay, well, you guys had a Jedi in this one. I'm just saying, like, this as far as like something we want to see is good. Yes, I'd like to see it. As far as this, I don't think they're doing in Tales from the Jedi, Clone Wars / knockoff / retread / I don't think it gives you that high of stakes because they're not gonna. I mean, I just don't think it's true.
Look, you got to look at it this way: Tales of the Jedi could be a throw off for everybody. It might be something totally different. Just the name out there, like it could be
What could
different
it be then?
stories.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning that it might not just be about the Jedi. It's like I know we have the maybes and stuff like that. It could be something totally different. You don't know what they're gonna do. If it's gonna be the past, the present, the future, we have no clue.
All right,
Now
let's go
we're
maybe.
arguing
I know what you're saying.
Where are
that
we
we have
putting
no
this one?
clue.
We're arguing the whole
I
show
said
now.
maybe.
We're getting off track here.
Nope. We got some people change it to maybe.
We got one person.
We got one person change it, but we still got some maybes in there. Go ahead. We're putting in maybe because I said so. Next up.
Rigged.
Well, I run the board.
You're right. It is rigged. It is rigged.
Eight put in good fit.
Put it in maybe.
There you go.
There you go. Good fit.
Anymore. You can't use the same stupid ass excuse then, because then every one of these that he's going to put in
maybe.
But it was a good story. Yeah, it's a good comic story, but it's not happening, and I'll put money that it isn't.
None of this is happening.
But yeah, now you're changing. The
I think Dark Temples really could happen. Jedi Knight, Jedi Dark.
Yeah. So this was another one of my picks. This was one that not a people know about.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good story at the time. Basically, a bunch of Jedi Masters, like some of the most legendary Jedi Masters, form a team to go on a raid on a separatist chemical plant because they've created a chemical weapon and they need to find the antidote, and the antidote's at this plant. And it turns out they run into Ventress and Dirge there, and Dirge ends up like blowing up the building. Ventress ends up actually killing Faye. She stabs her through the back. But to explain Jedi Master Faye, she was one of the oldest Jedi. She was a human, but she was so powerful in the use of the Force that she actually made herself look about 20 years old, even though she's like 1,000 years old. And she never wielded a lightsaber, never had to wield a lightsaber just because her strength in the Force was so high that, pretty much she could defend herself just using the Force. Yeah, she was basically an elf.
She's
an elf to Star Wars Lord of the Rings. But it's a good story. I don't know whether or not it fits in this. And
I think it does. Actually, I think this one out of the two, as much as I think that the battle doesn't, this one, which I was also kind of suggesting doing this story when I said put Dirge and what's her name in there, was this fits because having that type of thing where you have a different type of Jedi, not well known. You also haven't done this a ton, but it does still have undertones of Clone Wars. It does add a little bit of stakes that way between a Jedi and a Sith, not just having Padawans die. I think this storyline where they go to a base someplace off is a perfect fit for a one-shot anthology. And that's maybe why I think this is why when you compare this with Battle, I think this one for sure is like, yeah, that's a good fit.
How old is she? She's like 1,000 years
she's like
old.
1,000. I can't remember exactly. Like 1,000 years old.
Into the High
She's old.
Republic era too. You know what I'm saying? So it could work, with that whole.
I mean, yeah, they could adapt it in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And this is saying like this is not like in any way to me she's a memorable character, but she was only in one comic. That's it.
Yeah.
So she's not like a big character. So it's easy to introduce her, and she slots right in there into a Clone Wars story, which we've seen before. So.
See, I don't think all these are going to feed. That's what when they're doing these anthologies, I don't think they're all going to feed into something else. I think typically with anthologies on Star Wars, it already has something established, something we've already seen, like of interest before, and then they push it through. You guys have maybe for this?
Yeah.
Plus, I want to see Dirge.
I
want to see Dirge
I'm
again.
going to say absolutely.
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to say absolutely good fit, and it's not just because I just picked up a copy of this in San Diego.
Did you really?
I just picked up a copy in San Diego. Yeah.
Did you like the story?
I have no idea. I recognized the
right.
cover, and it was so I just picked it up.
I actually think, like, when you think about anthologies, though, like this and Dark Disciples, and I think the Nile story actually probably Lost Tribes. I think this sits on that same line with all three of those. I think
I
it's
still don't
such
know why you poo-poo the battle one though. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, she actually, to be specific, T. Jones, to answer that question, she
read all
actually
these
wasn't
comments.
killed by
I know-
Ventress. She was stabbed by Ventress, but she used the Force to heal herself. The only reason she died is because she transferred her will of the Force to heal Obi-Wan so he could escape with the antidote. So,
Okay.
Which you
when I
don't
said
have to have
killed,
Obi,
I was
you
wrong.
don't have to have Obi-Wan in that story. You just put a different Jedi or something else in that story, and it works the same way.
You could use Obi-Wan in there too. Doesn't really matter.
Use Obi-Wan too. Once again, this because I read these stories, so I know where to. I see which ones will adapt in my head to the what.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just not to go back to the battle one. I'm just saying, if you just picked a character, you followed that character in that battle, but they ultimately died, that's a one-off story. Like that's what I'm envisioning.
I guess,
Not
but
the
when
whole
I'm thinking
battle.
about-
Yeah,
not
the whole
actual
battle could be
comic
through the
book
vision
word.
of one Padawan
No,
or
I
one.
get it, but when if you read a lot of the anthologies in Star Wars outside of Tales, like the actual the original Dark Horse series, like there's a format that they like to follow, and the format fits
But
perfectly.
this is not a comic book. This is going to be a show.
Not a comic book. I'm talking about in general, since Disney's taken it over. All the Disney stories, when they do these anthologies or Star Wars, fit a certain format. Battle of Jabba. No, don't go back to the battle. Jesus. All right.
I'm just saying.
So where's this go? Where's this go?
I think good fit. I don't good fit. Yes, maybe. If Faye isn't that,
See maybes and good fits. I don't know.
I'm like got a maybe there too. I guess it's just
I'm
You
on
don't
the fence.
have to-
I like it
you
as a
don't
good
have-
fit, but
I pick a good fit because I think it might work for this certain storyline.
Well, they can make it whatever time. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to like if you say she's in the higher. I don't understand Wayseeker's comment.
Well, the reason why I would gives me pause on this is because then, as somebody mentioned earlier, you're basically going to then introduce and. Well, I know Ventress was in the Clone Wars cartoons before, but what I'm saying is you're going to be putting Ventress in this series animated again, as opposed to you can just make up anybody. In the battle one, again, you could just not make up anybody. You can just go with any no-named person to die to tell that story. This one's more focused in on not only the Jedi we're talking about, Master Faye, but
maybe
Ventress. So that's what kind of makes it less likely that they're going to.
I'm saying with the storyline, you can plug and play any Sith and any Jedi, and this story works. That's why I like it. Same thing with Dark Disciples. You can plug in any. Same thing with the Knit. Same thing with Lost.
But then is it the same story?
You can plug in any. Well, no, they didn't fall in love.
I think Pete's saying then it would kind of be more like a maybe. But
that's why I have it in a maybe.
Huh.
But
Whatever.
that's me. I'm fine. There's a lot of good fits. I'm fine putting it in there. I'm just
all right. Go ahead.
What's more the maybe?
Jedi just gave him big stuff, and he's gonna get hungry. Lost Jedi. I think a Lost Jedi, a Lost 20 story. I mean, they've been tickling around Lost 20 for how long?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you got to tell people what it's about first. They may not know.
Oh, sorry.
Briefly.
Who put this up here? I don't know. I
think it was you.
Oh, Jedi Lost. So Jedi Lost is talking about Count Dooku leaving the Order and going and becoming a Sith and having Ventress as kind of like a apprentice. Yeah. But I think more importantly, it brings up it solidifies and canonized the idea of the Lost 20. There's a lot of discussion of the Lost 20 in here, and that there's 20 Jedi who either left the Force, 20 Jedi who left the Force, but then either became Sith or just completely disinvolved themselves from the Jedi. They have numerous times, including with Ahsoka Tano, Count Dooku, Kiwi from the High Republic. They keep tiptoeing around it, or at least giving us little nuggets left in lore about the Lost 20. And I think in an anthology, this would be the perfect example of them walking through a library back to the buffs where you see Kiwi and Count Dooku, like he did in the scene. Was that cut scene or was it in the actual movie? I can't even tell anymore. Was that scene in the movie or did they cut the scene of the buffs of Count Dooku and Kiwi?
Well, you're talking about the Master Trinus thing. I think that was in this book, wasn't it?
That was.
But the talking about the Lost 20 thing, I think, was cut from the
It was cut.
Do we even need to vote on this one? Because Pete hates Dooku, so he's just going to put it in.
No,
way.
I actually do. I like this.
Well,
Because it's
I mean,
not
I'm
about
not saying
Dooku.
it's going to be Dooku for sure.
Can't get a
I
read
don't think
on
it's going to
it.
be about
Can't do
Dooku.
it.
I think I'm picking up on, again, like I was picking up on a part of the
It could be
battle.
fun.
I'm picking up on a part of the Lost 20. We can get a story of one of the Lost 20.
Yeah, Dooku could be telling the story of a Lost 20. They could be saying, Dooku wasn't the only Lost 20 member.
Mhm.
This is
And
and I know what everybody's gonna say. They're gonna be like, "Oh, Kiwi, High Republic, yeah, High Republic." No, I'm saying like they could. There's 20.
So
You can do 120.
And this is a story too that ties in a way together two eras. It ties kind of what we know a little bit about the Lost 20 in the High Republic to the Clone War era, and the fact that you have Sifo Dyas and other things in there that tie into the Clone Wars and how he becomes what he becomes more or less, and then kind of creates a droid army in secret.
Yeah.
Or not droid army, clone army in secret.
The guy that we saw in, was it Temple's Peak? Didn't we see one of the guys at the Lost 20 in Temple's
Mhm.
Peak too?
Yep.
We've seen
The Calais Terradine,
We've already seen like 4 characters in the Lost 20, so like there's 16 more characters they can give us. I'm not saying they're going to give us any one of the 4.
Yeah,
So
it's not
when
going to
you're
adapt the book as
accepting
well. Let's
So
even though we
when
show
you're
the book.
accepting this, you have to accept that we will not see Count Dooku, Terradine, Kiwi, or Sifo Dyas. Well, Sifo Dyas didn't really leave the order.
No.
So 3.
Well,
we're
yeah.
17.
But I'm not saying he's one of the Lost 20. I'm saying this actual story of Dooku Jedi Lost has him in it and explains why he freaks out or whatever.
Good fit. So I mean, if you're just saying like, oh, because we'll have, that's not it. I think we can have any one of the Lost 20s, especially as 20 we don't know about. Also, we have.
I think it's a good fit.
Yeah,
Good fit.
I'm with that. What do the rest of you got? Dom, Jedi.
Good fit.
Good
I
fit.
think it's a good fit.
Yeah. Whether it's Dooku or not, I think it really doesn't matter. Like Marco, I think was saying, I think anytime you see a Jedi lost, it's a good story, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Master and Apprentice, they're going to do this 100%. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
They're going to do something with Master and Apprentice.
Oh my
I don't
God,
think
really?
anybody thinks they're not. Who chose this? I don't think anybody.
I put it on the list, but
Yeah,
I didn't
well,
really
I
choose
got
it. I
it
just
on the
filled out 20 stories.
I got in.
Well,
I
you
got
gave
in.
me 18. We had to fill out 2 more.
I literally just threw names down there and go, Jedi, pick out some stories, guys. I was trying to have you guys pick it out, so it's just not me talking about it. But Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan is going to be a story in this anthology, correct?
Young Padawan Obi-Wan,
Young Padawan Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
Does anybody
like before
disagree
Clone
with-
Wars.
Does anybody disagree with that?
Do you think it's going to be based on this novel or just the story of young Obi? Or based
I think
on
they could do it
excerpts
either
from
way.
this novel?
Yeah,
I think they could do it either way. I think
It's
this was a good novel.
so
Yeah, it's
but
not
it was
to
a
adapt
long.
the whole novel. No, I don't think the idea.
Yeah, this
here
was
is
a
to
long
adapt the
story,
whole
so
novel.
I mean, they could also take an excerpt from the novel or a story. There's kind of story. There's a couple, I guess, stories within stories, if you want to call them that, within this novel. So I mean, they could take one of those.
They had several adventures in this.
Yeah, this is it. They're doing
Yeah,
this.
so we can take one, and that's it. Like that's all we're talking about.
And I'll be honest, I would be surprised if they also do a second one where it's Obi-Wan and Anakin, but like the Obi-Wan Anakin non-Clone War stories like that.
Well, I could see a lot more younger Obi-Wan stories fitting in because the comic is going to be based on his when he was a child. They're going to have his backstory, so I can definitely see a lot more stories on him.
I just think that it's just
also
Yeah,
a very
I think
good
we're good.
book.
I mean, the chat's on
Anybody
board.
reads
Everybody
it.
seems to be on board. So let's keep it going. We got still a
Let's
lot
keep
to
rolling.
say hi to Royal Clown if I didn't say hi. Qui-Gon is not the Jesus. Darth, you
He saw everything.
Stop
He saw it
lingering
coming.
all nonsense. Let's keep
I don't
going.
think
That's hard.
I got to work tomorrow.
I think he's never on the show because he would
So
say
do
some wild shit. Here we go. Jocasta. Okay, we could have the Jocasta new versus Vader. We put this in this, and it's a 2-parter because Jocasta new could be telling the story. I think that's how it originally started, and then we're like, well, let's do the story between her and Vader, which is actually a cool one-shot. That would be a cool one-shot, right?
That's
Basically, she survives Order 66. This is basically the story of her death, where they go to the archives and they've tracked down her there, and basically, I don't think they actually knew she was going to be there. They go to the archives to recover basically the list of possible Jedi children, and she's there trying to defend the list and doesn't make it.
She already plugged the list out. She put the list in the cave already.
Yeah.
Remember? And then she was up top, and the Inquisitor was down there talking shit about her.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, you dumb old broad, where are you now? But,
Two great things about this story I always remember is the lightsaber rifle.
Yeah,
She was there.
Yep.
that was
And the fact that Vader's actually going to let her live to be interrogated and everything, but he's going to let her live until she realizes that he's Anakin Skywalker. And then he kills his entire clone regimen plus her.
Yeah.
Now I know we're talking animated, but if they did live action, I want Helen Mirren to play Jocasta New
Yes.
personally.
Dwayne Scott thinks it's funny. Wayseeker sees it. I see it. Jedi, what do you say?
Yeah, this would be a good story. The only thing I'm thinking throughout this whole thing is one story that I think we left out, but
I left out a lot.
Yeah, we could go on for 50, but
yeah. And what's that Jedi's name? Infilia, the one
Kirik Infala.
Oh yeah,
Infala. We forgot about that guy.
White-haired one.
Infala.
Yeah,
Maybe. Yeah.
that would kind of be good. I guess that falls on the thing. So good fit.
I think so.
I don't know. I think that's more of a maybe for me.
I think.
But that's just my opinion. We can put it where we want.
I mean, maybe not her death, but I think there's going to be some format of her. I wouldn't doubt seeing some format of her in it.
It's a canon story too, so there's that.
See, I was thinking, right, Wayseeker. I was thinking the same thing of her being the narrator, but then that kind of limits the stories of.
This could be the last story if she's the narrator.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that means we can only tell stories up to this one.
Well, no, she could have been recording it in a holocron, so it could be the last story because she could use her Force Ghost. Anyways, we could do a lot of things. JJ,
Oh, he put the redeemed Vader on there. Nice.
What's that?
Said Pete put the redeemed Vader on there.
Yeah,
All white.
White
I
Vader
put
on here.
Bleached Vader.
Don't put your soup. Don't spill your soup, Vader. Okay, so to be clear, Infinities is it was a 3-part Dark Horse series, and basically it's like the what if of the Star Wars.
Yeah, for each of the original
era. Yeah.
movies,
So basically, it tells the story of if Luke Skywalker died in Hoth, what would have happened after that? And Leia becomes basically the Luke role, and Vader redeems himself, and becomes kind of a good guy. And there's a whole lot of other stuff that happens in there that I don't want to recap because we're running low on time. But yeah, more or less that.
Are we running low on time?
No, I just want to make sure we don't drag.
I don't know, but they did. Is this going to be a toy soon? I guess is that what
It is going to be a toy.
I mean, would they do what if? Probably, I guess.
I don't know. That's the only thing. I think the
right?
what
That's
if
what
aspect of it might be
maybe. So I got maybe.
They were not going to do one. Why would they do one what if? It's either a series of what ifs or you don't do a what if. Otherwise, it's going to kind of confuse people.
Yeah. Have you read the tales from the Jedi comics?
That's why, to me, this is a maybe in the fact that, I don't see them doing it for this, but maybe if they actually do a what if series, or if this is a successful anthology and they want to do a what if anthology, you might see stuff like this.
Yes.
But in this thing, no. Probably not.
Yeah, I had it as a maybe, but I don't know.
Yes, they are.
Those are blue lenses. We might still have one book, but have you read the Tales from the Jedi comic series? Because I don't know. Oh, he said no way.
Could.
No way. It's going. We got good fit and no way. All right. Well,
mistakes bleach for detergent.
What are we putting this, guys? You gotta move it.
I say maybe, but
I would say more than no way, just because of fitting this show. I think this is a show on its own.
All right. No, put in no way then. I guess we had it maybe, but there's a bunch of no way, a couple of no ways.
It is what it is.
Yeah, we would need to be a full series would be cool, and that's what I think they would need. Because if you mix it in with canonized stories, and then you got what ifs, it's going to confuse the hell out of people. They won't do that.
Next up, where are we at? Contact's getting dry. All right,
Lopez. There you go.
All right. So this has to be absolute, or else Lopez is never going to watch the show again, probably.
Oh, this is no. They're not doing this.
Probably not on this show.
This kind of plays into the Revan. It's kind of like a combination. Did you put Revan on here, or did we just skip that JJ?
No, we skipped Revan because
we skipped Revan because you said do KOTOR next week. So.
Yeah, we'll do KOTOR next week. But this kind of plays into it too, because Plagueis and Revan are the two that have been they put Bane into the cartoons, but these are the two that kind of got skipped over. Revan for sure, because he was definitely, even did the mock-up of him. And obviously they put Bane in instead of Plagueis. So there's always been in the deep corner circles of the internet rumor mills that whenever they do an animated series, well, they're going to finally do Revan animated and they're finally going to do Plagueis animated. I just think that this is not going to be the case in this series because it hasn't been the case yet. They still haven't doing it. The only thing we get is Armored Bane in that one thing.
Yeah, the more we do this list, I got to think about it. To me, this is probably no way, but possibly a maybe down the road. But will we see, now that we've seen like a Tales of the Jedi series, maybe will we see next year maybe a Secrets of the Sith series?
Yeah, we will, 100%.
So I don't know, and maybe that's what this is.
That would go there, fit there better. Yeah.
Once again,
so I don't see it fitting here very well, but maybe down the line.
Well, let's talk about the Inquisitor series.
That's why I think a Nile will do pretty well. Sorry, that's why I think Nile will do pretty well. It's so far removed from it, and so in between that could be how they do it. It's like they did in the book, and you can tell it.
Darth Lopez is resorted by Reed.
Thank you, Darth. You didn't have to.
Jedi, okay, Darth Lopez.
Don't try to sway us to the end.
Maybe.
With the super chat.
He said, yes, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Sorry. I think it might be in the maybes, though, or a form of it. So I'm putting all of them in there. I'm putting Revan, Plagueis, Bane, like all the things that it could be in this one. And so I have it as a maybe. But
I'll agree with your maybe based on what JJ said, because I think this could be something we see down the line, maybe even on a different show. So I'll still kind of give it the credit of a maybe that we'll get.
I like how we put this in maybe, but Niall.
Oh, because I think not because I think Niall fit because of how they told
Niall. Running the board.
Well, no, because it also ties with the Jedi. Like it's a
I think it fits. I think
you can go from the other angle. Like the focus could be from, Eyeless.
Also, I think it is on the low end of the maybe, but since I'm trying to push it up so it doesn't get put in no way. So we'll put it in maybe. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
But
Secrets of the Sith is probably a better spot for it.
Yeah. About flight.
I
don't know how you describe this. I guess best described as young Thrawn meets young Sidious. And
yes.
They basically was it Booth? Was that the crazy
Did
Jedi?
They go on a Rumspringer together.
Sort of in a way. They would conspire to take down the Jedi. Yeah. It's a good story. It's actually a really good story, and it does it would kind of play into like an Heir of the Empire story, but it's too much for this thing. And there's too many things. I would love to see a Thrawn story in this anthology, but no, this is not happening.
Well, it's actually Thrawn's birthday today, 31. Heir of the Empire, 31 years ago today.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean it's his birthday today?
No, I'm saying it's the.
No, I know. I got it. What
came out 31 years ago today.
I have to agree with Jedi. He just wants to put a batshit ass crazy story up here, so he did. Is that who put this in, JJ?
No, I put it in there. But yeah, that's what I want. What's a batshit crazy story?
Sorry, I misspoke. I meant JJ wants to put a batshit ass crazy story in here. And of all the Thrawn stories, this is the batshit craziest ass one there was.
To be clear, it's not a bad story, but it's just it ain't.
Oh, no, it's good. Well, it's okay. This is the stuff with where we.
It's Zahn, and Zahn writes Thrawn well. I mean, it's a pretty well put together story.
Yeah, but you got the homeless Jedi Master in this one.
Yeah, no, but yeah, this is no.
Oh yeah. Oh no, yeah, homeless Jedi Master. Yes, yeah, I did say it.
All right.
Again, love to see Thrawn's story, but this story, nope.
All right, we'll put it in the no way. Then.
Okay. Oh shoot, I just erased something I shouldn't have erased. I don't know what it was. So whichever one we're missing. Empire.
Let me go look, see what you did.
Empire. What are we doing with Empire?
So this is Savage Heart. So this is basically the story of right after Vader gets shot down in A New Hope in the first assault on the thing. He crash lands on this planet and basically has to fight against nature to survive. And he ends up like basically killing the alpha leader of the wolf, and basically the wolves follow him, and they have to take down, I forget what the creature is, but some other giant creature that is terrorizing them.
Like Dances with Wolves, and you really love it.
Well, no, in a way, but yes, I guess. But I don't remember Dancing with Wolves like going like crazy and killing scores of other creatures and stuff. But
they did a book of Boba Fett.
This is why I didn't add Overdrive, because I think this and Overdrive are in the same inkling.
This is Vader Overdrive.
Yeah, this is the Vader version of Overdrive, and I'd love to see them, but they're so far out of the realm of not fitting that I don't know. Anybody think this could fit?
I had to include Crazy Stories, Wayseeker. It couldn't all make sense.
I think no way.
He crashes and has to fight a pack of like wild wolf beast things, and then he kills the alpha and takes over the it's
like the Gray. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
more or less. It is very similar to Liam Neeson and Gray.
Yeah, there you go, Dwayne. Good job, thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Dwayne said it too.
We're going with no way, right?
We're getting no way. Nope.
Okay. Guardians of the Will. Now, this is something that they have been also, just like the Book of Hondo, teasing a lot of. The Wills, though, I think, just like New and just like Hondo, could be the ones telling the stories.
Possible.
I don't see which sometimes they show up in the stories too. So, I mean, because they came out, this book is actually pretty good. The Guardians of the Wills, like it kind of does do stories of Jedi in that book. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's actually I think Guardians of the Wills, isn't that an anthology too? Am I wrong? I can't remember this book.
I think it was a novel and then they turned it into a manga or something. Didn't they?
Yeah. Is that what it was? Okay.
Good.
Well, there's a manga of this.
There is some of these stories. Guardians of the Wills always shows up in. Oh, that's what it is. It shows up in every anthology they do. So, like all the from a certain point of views. There's a couple of Guardians of the Wills stories in there.
Yeah.
So. Late night. Yeah.
To me, this is
yeah,
like that's the one thing. I think this is a maybe because of what Wayseeker just said. Like, I don't know if they keep the Wills kind of its thing and they don't necessarily brush it with the Jedi too much. I don't know, but.
I would think it's kind of interesting what if this works, if this Tales of Jedi works, like you said what's the Secret of the Sith is the next one, then do you see the Wills after that? I think it's very useful.
I mean, they could do anything, but yeah. It's Disney. They got endless money and
they could, just like you said, anybody could show up.
Yeah.
Maybe
I like it for maybe then. Just for that.
I like it for a solid maybe.
Yeah, put it in solid maybe.
I think it actually fits well too. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Maybes and fits well. We're getting maybes and fits well. All right. Return to Vader's castle. Now, there's two reasons why I'm doing book number 4. One is because it gives you, because of the format of how it is kind of is almost an anthology.
It is. It absolutely is an anthology.
And this one talks about the graphs, which they've been introduced. So that's not actually the fourth sister in armor there. That is a graph in the armor for everybody that doesn't. The graph family, the High Republic with the space lanes.
Lena Graph.
Well, this one's for Lena Graph, who's related to them. But they've been teasing these characters. They have little choose your own adventure books out of them. They have a little whenever there's some type of like little storyline tidbit, they've thrown these little characters in there.
It's the graphs and the Santecas as like
the Santecas are the one that won the war. Yes.
So, toys of the
but with that being said, so I think the graphs fit really well. Will they do something with maybe even a false Imperial or something that has to deal with Vader castles? I think once again this falls into they could with the Wills and with the rest of the stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you disagree?
I don't know. I think it's a pretty good maybe because we kind of saw a little bit of it in the Lego Star Wars holiday special or her Halloween special, I should say.
Mm.
So, true, do they revisit that well in animation? Sure. I mean, to me, it's a maybe. I don't know if we'll see that particular story with, her taking the place of the fourth sister and all that, but as far as like something related to Vader's castle, yeah.
And the Vader and the older brother, I mean, there is links in those Vader castle stories they tell Jedi stories too in them. So I was just saying like somewhere in there, it could.
And I agree with these. That's why I think we put in the maybe. Same rationale behind the Wills. I think this could end up being something potentially of its own down the line that they.
And I think we're going to see Vader's castle in Obi-Wan. They're going to show it there too.
Well, we already saw it in Rogue One.
Yeah, we saw his castle.
Yeah. What I'm saying though is to introduce the characters of the graph. Like if they're going to use this as spin-off of the show, which sometimes Disney has that format, a la the Ahsoka show, or Bad Batch, or you know what I mean? They introduce a character and then they do it. I think this would be the way that you introduce a graph, and then you could have the spin-off of the graph shows for content. Yeah, it allows for them to expand. Very good. That's exactly what I'm saying. So maybe we're getting some maybes. I put in maybe. All right. Do I only have one left? I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since we wouldn't give you Revan, we decided to give you Starkiller.
Let Dom do it. Dom was excited. Let him go.
No, that was JJ's.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm just going off your excitement.
If you know the story, go for it. Tell them what the story's about.
Oh well, Starkiller. He was a child when Vader found him, and he had a clone because this guy was powerful, and had a clone and used him as a secret apprentice to kill off the Emperor. Everybody seems to have a secret apprentice, and he actually was in love. I know the story. What's the face? What's his name? The blind guy. What's his name?
Kanan.
They actually used him. They actually used Kanan as they made him blind to take the place of.
Oh Jesus!
Oh wow!
Oh, we got a lot of Russians in us.
Russians again?
I disagree with. I disagree with the no chance. Actually, this was a suggestion. I know it. Like at first, JJ yelled at me because I said Starkiller. He said no chance. And they said, wait a minute, which one did you just said? Listen, Unleash. And then the chat went crazy, and he's like, absolutely. The thing with the clone is if a Jedi tells a story where they're like,
to be clear on that real quick. To be clear, Starkiller was also the Lucas draft thing before.
Yeah, that's what he
thought. Starkiller.
I did a real deep cut, and I was not trying to do deep cut. I was trying to do fan service for the show here.
Look at it this way too. At the end of the day, they're re-releasing the game for the Switch. They're bringing back Force Unleashed into the new generation now. So I have a feeling that his character will show up as something, maybe an Inquisitor, or they'll change the whole origin of his story. But I think Starkiller will eventually make it into canon.
It was Sam.
If this is the way they can swing it in, yeah.
It is a lot. You're right, Joe. It is a lot.
Ready? Do I get 2 seconds to sell it to you guys? It's a 40-minute show. Very simple. They go, hey, all these Sith, it's the rule too. Well, did you? Yeah, but they've all got assassins. What are you talking about? Well, didn't you know about Vader's assassin? Vader adopted. He smuggled this one kid, turned him into a clone, and then tried to use him to kill Palpatine. And then blah 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 blah. They just shorten it down to 40 minutes. End of story.
And his name was Ochi of Bestoon.
Yes.
But I think they could do, especially if this stuff doesn't have to be canon. That's the best part about it. I actually really hope that they don't make this show canon.
I don't think they're going to make something that's not canon.
Why? They do it all the time. They did it with Freemaker. Animated.
They did it with Visions.
If they're going to do it animated. Because they've done it already with all the Lego stuff, the Freemaker stuff. They've done all that stuff before.
Who made the Freemakers, though?
Disney did. Disney did.
It was on Netflix.
No, Disney made the Freemakers. They also made Droid Tales. They also made the Yoda Chronicles. Disney's made all these. And it's all animated. Disney made the Halloween special, which is non-canon. They've made it's gonna be
what are you gonna do? What do you got to say about that?
That's true.
That's what
it is also true. We don't want an abridged version of it.
You want nothing? Good day.
No, but you don't want it crammed in as like a footnote.
No, well, you could always make him like a character, and have continue a story down the road, like spin-offs, like everybody does, but introduce him into canon.
Or this is a multi-trillion-dollar business, and they show you a one shot of a character, and then just happen to say,
they want to sell you video
we're going to re-release the bleeping novel and have people buy the novel that they already have in place. You don't see that as a possibility? Everybody will shoehorn every motherfucking comic book character they can into any storyline for a rumor. But hell, to sell merch, there's no way to do a one shot.
They didn't do it for the re-release of the Old Republic, though.
And graphic novel by Dark Horse, who now publishes Star Wars again.
Right, but they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't. Thank you for that, JJ.
He just popped in, dropped it, and looked.
He just mic dropped. He mic dropped and walked off. Well, I appreciate it because he's on my side.
Look,
And as PK said, because I said so. Yes.
I'm just at a maybe. I'd love to see it.
No,
But
I
I
have
don't
it as a maybe.
really
I
feel
don't
like
have it as
it's
a
gonna
yes. I have it as maybe.
just a maybe.
maybe I would love to see him in canon. I would love to
We were
see
going
him.
to do Mace Windu, but we didn't do Mace Windu. I mean, this would have gone all night.
Yeah, I wanted to try to fit a mace in there, but we couldn't really nail down
What are we doing with this?
Really?
We
I could have
Maybe.
sworn that Steve would have came in here with C-23.
He's joking. He hates Omega.
I know, but I'm saying I thought he would have brought in,
This thing. What does it
his
say?
favorite droid.
Boba Fett series hindsight? No. What we don't want to do is them to try to redo the whole Star Killer story because they could book a Fett it. If you give them one episode, they can't ruin it that bad. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this?
I agree, but I also don't know, though, again, we don't know the format of what this anthology might be. We might get a couple of multi-part stories.
Exactly. It
We'll
might
get
be
15
different
minutes
stories.
here,
That's
15 minutes
maybe
next week.
under protest.
15 minutes.
Okay, I'll take it. BK gave us a maybe under protest. I'm putting in a maybe. Then everybody
No,
maybe.
but see, like Pete was saying, that the stories could be different stories that have different. Like if it's 20 episodes, they could have 20 different stories.
It ain't
Like
20.
each different story.
Wow,
Like
whoa! Slow down with it's not 20. They might
I'm
do
just saying,
60.
like
They
60,
could
60 stories with like 5 different stories that are in each episode
Huh?
of a character.
Dude,
like one
animation takes
character.
a long time.
You know, you never know.
Well, wait, how many episodes was Bad Batch? 12?
No, 16,
Was it? 16 it is.
and
12
then
was-
30, and then the second season is going to be another 16.
And by the way, Filoni would do it because guess what? He's known for animation. It doesn't matter if he does canon or not. He's known for animation.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, let's go. What a list. All right. We didn't actually
That's the list.
I thought we originally did have a Tales from the Jedi. I don't think they're going to do the story of the Nad freed fucking
Uprising.
Freedom Nad Uprising.
Yeah, Freedom
Nad.
Nad Uprising.
I mean, I don't mind it. I like it. I think it's a good story. But no, to answer that question, I don't think they're doing free Nad.
What about any like early Mandalore stories they could be doing? You know, you never know. Like,
But not
old
on
Mandalore.
Jedi. That's the thing. I think
Yeah,
Well, the first Jedi Mandalorian, they could
Yeah.
do his story.
could do a. Was it Pre-Vizsla?
Tar Vizsla.
Tar Vizsla. That's it.
Pre Par, yeah, because Pre's the one that took it afterwards. And
Yeah.
You know,
you could do Par Vizsla with the dark saber. Yep, that would fit. That would. Why didn't you suggest that? And we would have put it in.
Yeah, we
I
could
know.
have put it in.
I just thought of it.
He had 50 freaking ones, and
Hey,
Par
but at the
Vizsla-
same time, we've had how many seasons of Mandalorian? I'm still waiting for them to introduce the idea of Mandalore, the Indomitable or Ultimate, and really
Ultimate.
something.
Yeah, I like those two. All right, next up, we'll talk about more of Ultimate, the two Indomitables next week or 2 weeks from now. Either way,
Sorry.
go to Snap Cell and whatever. You could get Viz. No, I see that.
Are we doing this now or okay? We're doing this.
Oh, wait, what else we got?
Oh, the other Viz.
We got the novel. We got this, and we got. I guess
We'll do
we
the
have
novel.
time.
You bring it up.
No.
Yeah, let's do. Yeah, I'll switch it up.
Okay.
Give me
Okay.
1 second. We want this, right?
I thought we were going to
Yeah.
get SSB.
Well, I don't know if you want me to show anything yet, or if you just want to talk. Jedi.
I thought
Do
we
you
were going to
have
do. I thought we were going to do SSX links with the thing we just did, and then we'll do the novel.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll switch back.
Whichever.
There.
No, that's not what we're going to do.
There we go. I just switched.
It's fine. Either way, it's fine.
All right, Dash Lab Cell. Let's get through it so we can get to the novel review. We will be reviewing the last book of the Hope and Making Jedi's Day.
Hey, Wayseeker's been asking for that, so
I know, yes. I know.
You
I
guys
don't
get
hear
it
about
by
too because I
now.
haven't read it yet.
I did it.
Yeah, I didn't go. I didn't have time to listen. You guys get it. Let's get to the first one.
So basically, recap all that. But there is a note there I did add that anything with I did. So you'll see plus symbols and you'll see asterisks. It kind of got cut off of there. But anything with less than 5 sales that I could find to average out gets an asterisk. Anything that's trending up,
Watch the
like-
rest of the Darth.
I averaged it, but it might be trending up, gets a plus sign. So other than that, we'll move on.
Okay, moving on.
So, Tales of the Jedi #1. People were asking about it earlier.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the book that I guess is driven by the rumors of the Tales of the Jedi show, and went up even more now that it was confirmed. Will it be about this show or about this comic? I mean, will the show be about the comic? Probably not. But I don't know.
It's a good comic though. Like
it's a good comic. It's a good story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But and then there's also like there's 3 other so Tales from the Jedi has this. There's like 3 or 4 other Tales from the Jedi, right? Like there's
there's Golden Age of the Sith, Dark Lords of the Sith, and I think Redemption. So
I think
like 3 or 4 miniseries or whatever you want to call them.
So right, who's got this book?
This is Jedi's. I think I had this one.
Excellent. Show Jedi. Jedi, show us your book, and we'll go over what the chat says because I agree with them.
So this is the book. This one's in pretty good shape. A little bit of white. I don't know if you can. A little bit of whiteness down in the bottom corner.
Blunted corner.
Other than that, it's pretty solid all the way across. No spine ticks. Nothing. Everything looks really good. So actually, what? Just for if we want to use it for making I have nothing in this. Well, maybe $10. This came out of a $10 mystery bag that I bought probably like 5 years ago. So.
Nice.
Tell me what to do with it.
Theoretically, it was less than $10 then, right?
Yeah.
It was in there with other comics.
Yeah, there's probably like six comics in this, and this was one of them.
All right, so there you go, $1.67 or so.
Yeah.
So right now you're looking at 254 graded, 141 9.8 blue label. So here's where it gets a little bit tricky. $96 average for 9.6, but that's trending upward. So I think the highest sale was 160, but the lowest sale that dragged it down about actually not even 2 months ago, probably about a month and a half ago, we're like down around like $40. So that averages out kind of in the middle there.
We're not going to have Quell or the Droma first appearance isn't going to move this book a lot, or
no? I think this book is moving because of the show rumor and the title.
The title.
I don't think it's got anything to do with the characters in the book. Although it's not a bad book, but I don't think it's got anything to do with the characters in the book. So it's about 230 and trending upwards. I think one sale was 300, was the highest for 9.8 and $37 for a raw. Again, trending upwards.
So this is the second bite at this apple, because originally when we saw the rumor of it being on the case, you got to see a little bit of a book. When the first appearance list came out that had 80,000 first appearances and nobody knew what to buy in Star Wars, and there's a lot of new people trying to flip comic books, you saw a spike in this book. And then it fell back down to the dollar bins. Then when we saw the side of the rumored cassette thing, spike in this book again, and then it came back down. Now huge bends and flows. Now it's spiking again, and it'll soon be a time where people find out what is in this book. And then it will go down again. Will we get another bite is the question. Because if you do, then you have the 35 days to send it out to CGC to get slabbed. If you do not think we'll get another bite at this apple because 3 bites are already enough and they've already hit the core, then we probably aren't going anywhere. But even if we do, I think the $300 range at a 9.8 is probably where this is going to end up sitting anyhow. So most of the chat, and I will tell you that I have sold 4 copies of this raw, by the way, because they weren't in great shape, but still I wouldn't slab it. Just full disclosure. Sell, dollar bin. Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. Slab for BK, because BK believes that you're going to be able to get a fourth bite in this. I sold 2 copies. Yep. Good job, Wayseeker. Sell. I would agree. I don't know what everybody else thinks. Dom, what do you think?
I would sell it if you got the book. You got it in a $10 mystery box. Mm-hmm. So basically, like a $10 mystery box you got in it, right, Jedi?
Yep.
Yeah.
Average raw price was $37, but I believe up to $50.
It might have been less than $10. I don't remember. It's a long time ago. But
so I would definitely sell it because I got a feeling this book is going to tank when you actually really find out what Tales of the Jedi is going to be. And, look, when it comes to all these old books from like this time period, I don't think Disney is going to get into this. They're trying to get through the High Republic right now. And the High Republic's going another couple of years. I think after the High Republic, their story with the High Republic finishes, then they'll go back and start doing the Old Republic and the old. That's why I don't think any of this is going to be irrelevant now.
JJ, do you remember for similar conditions to Jedi, there should have been a listing? Did it sell for like $52, something like that? Because I know you say the average is 37, but I think
high grades. Well, it's all trending up, so it's hard to gauge. Like, I mean, I'm sure in the next couple of days before they make any kind of announcement, you're going to see it keep going up. But the high grade ones right now we're selling around 45 or 50 raw.
Yeah. This is a good point. What if you wait till Celebration? I mean, because that'd be in the same. That's still a list.
I'd dump it now. In the days leading up to it. I wouldn't even wait, but
because they're going to mention what Tales is about. I think they have the panel, so you don't want to take that chance.
They'll be secretive, though. They usually are in those panels at Celebration. As my wife said when she saw something, she's like, "For Celebration, they don't ever leak anything at Celebration." It might be a little.
I'm still with James and with Joe. It's going to be cheap again.
You know,
so
somebody asked me about
I mean,
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I would sell this if I sold raw comics, which I don't. I would sell it because I don't think I agree with what everyone else is saying. I think once people find out what this show is really about, this is going to come down.
This is the one thing, though. But this is the one thing that we've seen. I think buyers are smarter and sellers are smarter in the market now, because what would typically happen is every show would, no matter what they say at Celebration, instantaneously put, like, you get notifications. This book would show up all the time because there's
what did you just say?
What?
They are smarter now?
Some are, yeah.
Did you see what that Luchador book was selling for? Not to go down Star Wars.
No.
I'm not selling because of Bad Bunny.
Time out. There's always some dummies. There's always been shills and dummies in this industry.
Bad idea donuts.
Yeah, bad idea donuts. There'll always be that portion of it. But for a long time, all you needed was a couple content creators and an app to do an alert, and you would get, it would be 300 to 400 times the amount of what the book was to go. That is not happening anymore. That isn't. If you think it is,
it happens sometimes. It doesn't happen with every. It was happening with literally every book.
Every book.
It could be the villain of the week on the latest CW show, which starts selling books. That's not happening anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
There's still random things that do.
Like, there's a lot of people that started doing this in the last couple of years, and now they're catching on that, like, oh crap. Well, if we weren't one of the first two people to sell some shit ass book to some fool, there's only so many fools. You know what I mean? So
well, look, when it comes to Star Wars books always have that high point. If they are going to introduce something and the books are speculated to go up, the Star Wars books usually shoot up more than an average book, depending on the
but the shoot up isn't that high anymore.
We got to move through these books, guys.
Oh yeah, we do have to move through. So what I'm saying is, like, I think the chat's right. You try to if you keep one or two to list at a high price and see if they bite at Celebration, that's fine. But if you have 5 of these books, if you have Jedi's book, I think you list it at a decent. You list it. I will tell you what I would do. Doing this, list it in the $60 range, and hopefully you get it sold by Celebration or on Celebration. I don't think that's out of pocket.
This is like a $50, $60 or best offer, and
OBO.
See you can get the bite in the coming weeks, and hopefully get it out of there.
I just don't think I mean, even if because all those people that bought Raws in the last week and a half, they're
going to be doing the same thing.
They're all submitting it. They just submitted it. I mean, I know for a fact there's 2 guys that have submitted 9/8 because I sold 2 Raw 9/8 and they've submitted them. That's what they were doing. So there you go.
I think we're good with sell, right?
So
I think that's what everybody has said at a different stage of this conversation.
Somebody did ask me real quick about the logo, because the logo is similar to the logo they've seen at least used for the show.
Yes.
I had a theory, and I didn't really think of it until I started working this, but I wonder if they will have another comic series tied into the show later on, because Dark Horse is publishing comics again for Star Wars.
Yeah.
And
Maybe.
I mean, it's their logo in a way.
It is. I mean, it's their thing, so they could do it. Okay, this is what Joe.
I don't think that's true either. I think they got more money to burn.
Yeah, I don't. I think some of that. I think there's a portion of it but I do believe because of personal chats that people sent me and stuff, there is a lot more people asking better questions, and just talking to people at cons and stuff, you see a move of people being a little bit more educated.
And yeah, to address the foil, I think to me the foil is probably a hold or a stash, just because it's so much rarer. I think they were like 5,000, but you don't see a lot of them, and they're hard to get in good condition. They really are.
Okay, that came with a set, right? You had to get all 5.
Yes.
Then you have some broken up sets, but
yes, came as a set. This is a different situation because this is almost like the newsstand type situation, or this is like a whole different collectible thing. This is
the rarity is far greater than this. Because this was published in an era of Dark Horse Comics, so they published a lot. Like it wasn't like the low published versions of some of that came in like the late 2010s or mid 2010s and stuff.
Add to Steve's point, because of that, because when this book hits and people find out what this book actually is, they will actually find out that there is a rare book. This is one of the special, like the DFs, the foil covers. There's a couple of these in the Dark Horse thing. Dramatic Force is what I'm saying. DF covers.
Dynamic.
People realize that they're rare. So that's a different situation altogether. And yes, it's a whole. I couldn't in 9 far. Sorry, Paul. Sell. Okay.
Sell.
Next book. You're up.
Oh, I got this one. I got a bunch of these, 50 cents a piece. And they're not selling. Yeah, they're not selling.
Yeah, so this is
nobody wants Numi.
This is Dark Horse Comics 7. I'll give you the stats real quick. There's 124 total graded, 73 blue label. You're looking at now again. Here's where the average came out. I think it was only on 2 or 3 sales. Came out to $52 because one dragged it way down and one was closer to $100. I think even over $100. And then you got, based on one sale, I think it was maybe 2, 138 9.8 average, but only a $7 raw average. $7 below $10.
Here's the thing with,
and it's the first appearance of Nomi Sunrider.
Yeah, but the story of Nomi Sunriser fits the. I don't know. It kind of
fits the story, but I don't know that any of this stuff is going to go back to the Old Republic. I highly doubt it.
It fits the time frame. Mike Morello loves this book. Mike Morello.
This book's never been opened.
Just because it's so cheap, it's easy to find.
Oh yeah. I get a bunch of these for 50.
Go ahead.
What do you got?
You got the gloves on. Show us tell us what you got.
But you can't sell them. Well, first off, they've got a great Army of Darkness ad on the back.
Yeah.
That alone.
Bruce Campbell.
That alone should
that's worth like $7 right there.
Yeah, that's worth $7 right. There's a dent that's pressable. That's it. This copy's actually in really good shape for not being bagged and boarded. This was in the another one there, but you can press that. Another one in the back too. Another one in the back too.
Yeah, more over to the side.
There's one right there. There's one. I don't know. Can we see
a couple small ones?
Yeah, a couple small bumps.
We'll take your word for it.
Just small bumps. Nothing else. Corners are good. It hasn't been opened before. You can tell it's flat as the day's long. Like that's a non-pressed flat. Look at that, baby. That's a non-pressed flat. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Thick cover too, right? Aren't they kind of like
it's a thicker cover.
Cardstockish cover?
Like a nicer paper.
Nicer paper, not cardstock. It's just nicer paper.
Okay.
But there's a shit ton of these out. I'm not fucking grading this horse shit. I'm selling these raw. I mean, I have listed raw, and I can't.
So you're selling
your $7 all day?
I don't know. $20. You can't even sell.
I was like when we first made this list, before I started looking into it, I was a sell all day. I was like, you gotta sell that, you gotta sell. But the price has come down to about $7 now. I mean, $7. I just stash it.
We gotta go. I think we gotta go with the stat at that price.
Yeah, it
doesn't make sense.
Even at 50 cents, it's cheap.
I mean, if you could get maybe 15 out of it at like where you're not paying eBay fees or something like that, like in a trade deal or something like that kind of value, maybe. But
get an actual $15 out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could find a bunch of the dollar bin and then
But if I sell it on eBay for $9, I get, let's not forget there's fees involved in that and everything else, and you got to pay for that's not worth it to me. That's just a stash.
Yeah, I think it's a stash too. Everybody thinks it's a stash, right? I think. Frank, did you miss last week's show? I think Frank missed last week's show. We'll link it below. There is not an actual first appearance of Plagueis. There's a first maybe cameo of Plagueis, which we are considering the first cameo of Plagueis.
But we do cover it.
Frank,
in,
we
last
did
week's.
talk about it last week.
So
So check out
week,
last
so
week's
feel
show.
free to go back there. It's chaptered out. I'll link it to our show in the back end again if you'd like. All right, next.
It's already in there. It's already in there. Always link last week's show.
All right, cool. All right, next week's
Next up.
next book. Let's go.
Okay, this one was mine.
Okay.
So this is the Tales of the Jedi, the Dark Lords of the Sith Ashcan. So these guys actually, print numbers for this book, I'm not even going to get into it. It's impossible pretty much because these came packaged with Star Wars Galaxy Magazine #1, which there was published by Topps and no shortage of them, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
But I was kind of shocked. There's only 85 graded on the census and only 29 9/8.
Really? Nice.
Yeah.
Hey,
So kinda crazy.
Those inserts get thrown away. Like even though
Yeah.
they're packaged with the magazine.
And some are, I bought them.
Get
I
tossed.
have probably 2 or 3 copies still sealed. So some are still sealed in the poly bag with the magazine.
I have a couple still sealed in poly bag. I also have them. Sometimes they put them in like bags of all the little ash cans and shit together, and I have a couple in there too.
So this guy is really good condition.
Gotcha.
You're looking at, there's one, and it's really hard to tell because of the black and white cover, but right at the top staple, I'll be able to capture it right there next to my fingernail. There's a tiny little tick, and I'm talking like, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch maybe, but I don't know if it would press out because it kind of sort of breaks. It's right in his lightsaber, so it's hard to tell whether or not it breaks color, but I think it kind of does. So, but that one tiny flaw, that's about it. And this is being Ashcan, by the way, thin. I can't remember, like 12 pages or something. I don't know. It's a thin book. But yeah, but 241. Now that's based on one sale, I think, maybe 2, in a 9/8, and $24 in a raw average. And it is the first appearance of XR.
That's a gamble to try to send that in, even with the.
Yeah, I would stash it.
This is why I don't know. It's a tough decision.
Yeah.
XR
for this
Kuhn is interesting.
I'm leaning towards maybe send it in for slabbing, just because, believe it or not, there's actually more 9/6s than there were 9/8s.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they grade this harshly, or maybe it's because it's a thin book and there's more defects with it. I don't know, but
I think a lot of times of how it's stored too, because I don't think a lot of ones that now are.
But I think there's the caveat is, like we just said, I think there's a lot of copies of this that quote unquote haven't come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's still a lot probably still in polybags and mags.
But this is why, I don't know how rare. I don't think it's rare.
And like I said, I was surprised by how low that census number was. But I think it's because a lot of them are still with a magazine or just in a collection.
In a collection or magazine. This is what I'm thinking, though. This, once again, we do know that like stuff moves the needle. So if they do mention that that Tales from the Jedi have see if this seems realistically. No.
Oh,
I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the fake moving the needle. If this is a headline you can see. Tales from the Jedi is going to have a split off series, but it's going to be about the Sith. Instead of saying Secrets of the Sith, they're going to say it's about the Sith. This book is going to temporarily, for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, skyrocket, and everybody's going to drag them all out. So I think it might be, this is a gamble book, but I think if I had a couple extra spots in pre-screen, I would throw this one in to get it slapped. Saying that I have faith in the Tales from the Jedi series. If you have zero faith in the Tales from the Jedi series, then I would sell this average raw. But I have faith in the Tales from the Jedi series.
Yeah. Well, I think I have. So this is the one book divided out from the others where I have a little more faith in the character. Just because we got into the Fallen 20 stuff. What if they go back? How far back are they going to go with the Fallen 20? Could it be XR Kuhn be one of them? Could he be the first?
Yeah, he could. Yeah. I
have a little more faith in the character than I do the fact that they're going to use it. The story of Tales of the Jedi.
Did I?
Dull
I don't
down.
remember saying that.
Oh boy.
Maybe you are right. It's an ash can. It came in a magazine. Not many are out there. If they are out there, they're in the magazines or whatever. They got thrown away. But definitely, if you have,
that's not used.
Oh,
I don't think so.
What?
If you have a couple, you slab one, put it away,
maybe,
and you keep the other.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but that's not Hughes. There's no AH.
I thought it was.
Dom, keep talking. I'm sorry. I should have.
No, I was saying, if you get slab one, you put it away, and then you have maybe 2 just in case it does come back, and he is mentioned, and they're going to use that character, and you can sell the 2 rows and keep the slab.
Hugh Fleming.
What cards do you know what packs your cards have? You didn't open that out of a pack, did you?
This?
Yeah.
No, this one I bought. I do have. Are you talking about the magazines?
Sealed ones. Yeah, the ones that's sealed, I guess.
Yeah, I do have it sealed with a magazine. Yeah, I have that too.
Well,
but this one I bought separate from the magazine.
Had cards in it. Did they have cards?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
What were the cards? Do you remember? I don't remember.
They were some Topps promotional cards. I think for the Galaxy series.
Was that the Hildebrand cards?
The Galaxy series? I can't remember.
Yeah, they might have been. I think the artist varied on them, but
yeah,
there was they had them for almost every issue in that run because it was Topps.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. So what are we doing?
I'd take a shot. I'd send this in.
Slab it.
As I said, slabbing. All right. Next up. Even at a 9.6, worst case scenario, it's pre-screen with slab.
Real quick, this was we did this last week a little bit. I figured I'd do it again. This was the steal of a deal. Doak Endor seamless deal.
Oh yeah,
so this,
shout out.
Yeah, I don't know who bought them.
Somebody watching is the seller.
I should have looked up to see who bought them or who sold them. Same seller, maybe different buyers. I probably should look up and see who that was. But so you had Dark Lord is listed #1, but not the Ash Can, but the regular that we just did. Came away with a $26 sale of a 9.8, and then Tales of the Jedi won, and this was just a week or so ago. So this was like literally a day or two before that rumor kind of got confirmed or whatever. $78 sale. Now, granted, they're from Canada, so if you're buying in the US, that would cost you a little bit more in shipping, but only $21, which is not
that's
horribly
not
more than a normal slab. So, but yeah, so
both. Big shout out to this is a reference to Otherly World Comics. Last week he verified a buy.
Yeah, he snagged our deal.
Yeah, the Bane newsstand.
And then corrected it, said that that was actually something me and Steve have been talking about, how sometimes the prices aren't what they seem. There's different ways of doing that. We might cover that in the new show that me and Eric are doing. But he actually bought the book for $10 less than we said he bought it for last week. Big shout out for him. Thank you for leaking it. Listen, if you want to tell us your great buys or your great sales, feel free. Even if you want to say anonymously, we will verify for you. But we appreciate that because it kind of gives a little bit of feeling towards the thing. So we really want to shout out Overly Comics. Thank you for speaking up and let us know, just like Darth Lopez when he had his sale. So thank you very much for that. Next up,
the best offer on a fixed item price, they'll show the strike through if a best offer accepted. But if you have an auction that also has best offer, if it gets an offer and it's sold, it doesn't show the strike through. It shows the full.
Yeah, there's also this thing about double listing. If you list them, there's also a bunch of stuff going on.
There's a lot of tricky ways, but it may not reflect what something actually sold for.
What do you mean to tell us what you buy, Zaggy? Zaggy's never sent me a message that he buys. Oh, he does. I'm sorry. Hot Pockets, pizza.
Or
pizza.
If you bought one of these that I'm showing right now, let us know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or sold them for that matter.
He does. I'm sorry. He tells me what he buys. He buys Hot Pockets, fast food, and pizza out of the freezer section. Okay, next up.
All right, next up. I think next up is
the DF the tails, right? Yeah. There's a gold version of some of the tails, and there's a DF.
Yeah. So we pulled off a couple of the books that came from our tier list that we just did. You got this was Tales number 24. We're doing the newsstand variant. Now, census does not separate for newsstands, so I'm giving you the total census from the photo variant. So you're looking at 156 total graded, 72 9/8. How many of those newsstands? I have no idea. This was a weird one in that no 9.6 sales that I could find. The last 9.8 sale was $990.
No 9.6.
But that was like a year ago, or even more, I think. The average raw price came out to, I think, on about 3 sales to $55. Now, weirdly, the average raw price of the not newsstand more. I think it was like closer to like 70.
Okay.
Yeah, weird.
For the regular photo.
For the regular photo, direct photo, it was closer to 70. But granted, more sales. So take that for what you will.
I got you. Well,
and it is the first appearance of Darth Nihilus.
And Fett Club, right?
In Fett Club. Also Fett Club.
This is actually one of the best tales there is. Like when I first started doing this, I used to rave about this tales book. It's like one of the best tales there is, in my opinion.
All right. Well, I'll show you my copy. I do have the art one too, but we're not doing that one. I did get the newsstand one. I mean, it is a thicker cardstock cover, but this thing, and I think the reason why some of these newsstands might sell cheaper, not because people notice the newsstand, but I think a lot of them get more dinged up. And this one's got 2 decent ticks. I don't know if I can even get them on there into the camera, but there's like a really bad one here right by the 64.
Oh yeah, I see
that,
it, yeah.
breaks color like that thing.
Yeah, that's
In the
good.
corner.
There's a decent one there, and then there's a little one right around in here.
You know,
Too bad, but
as far as I know you guys are gonna kill me because you're gonna laugh at this, but as far as spine stress too on these books, like it really does break color on a lot of these thicker.
Well, they're
yeah,
thick.
These things are thick. It's 64
pages.
Yeah. Yep. It's so like you get a lot of color rub on the spine stress there too. Not even color rub, technically, just missing color break. So it's more predominant, and you can see it a lot. Oh, so you have about a 9.6 there. I actually
I feel like that gives me a 4.
Yeah, that first one was a pretty big ding there.
It's a pretty solid
ding in the
ding,
corner
and
too at the top.
I didn't look at his book at all. What do you, Pete? What would you put at it?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Again, this thing I didn't show you all of the dev. I just showed you those 2 ticks. There's a couple of other little like.
So now we're down to about a 9.0 on it, right? Now this is
9.0, 9.2, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say more like a 9.2 if I were to sub it, but I don't think I'm going to.
Dom's calling out dings you didn't even show us. I'm the only one not looking at the book.
You weren't looking anyway.
I know. So I thought you said it was a 9.6. So why was I looking at it?
Who said you said 9.6? I didn't say 9.6.
Yeah, I misunderstood. I thought
Anyhow.
No.
So we're at a 9.0, 9.2. You're selling this raw, right? Or you're stashing this, right?
I'm just keeping this. I mean, honestly, that's just my copy. I'm just keeping it. But
I think that's
an extra one.
Yeah. I think that's the play, anyways. I mean, I think keep it, and then you get hopefully some Darth Nihilus news or show. Maybe even a redo of the video game or something.
Video game.
That's a cool ass cover too.
It is. It is a great cover.
If you get a rumor of KOTOR again or something, maybe
even without the rumors, like a year or so ago, that was over $100 for a newsstand, regardless of condition, was well over $100. So prices are down right now. So I would not be selling right now. I'd be buying if I didn't already have one.
People love nothing more than to rehash fucking old rumors when they run out of content. So I would say stash. Anybody else not saying stash?
Good. Well, it's going to be an episode on Tales from the Jedi.
I would say. So this is always one of those things that I really wish they did separate them out in a census, because I wish you could tell by looking at the census how rare they are, if they are rare by that measure. So if they were, I'd say maybe then slab it, but in the case that they don't, which they don't, it's got to be a stash.
Yeah, I think this is too.
Stash it.
Stash. You stash it. Stash. Next.
We have. I think Dom is going to cover our submission.
Yes, we got a submission from Joe.
Suggestion
from Joe. We got a submission. The Lost Tribe of the Sith. Well, listen. If you want to submit books to let, if we would pick it up, you might be able to put it on the show. Submit. If you like it, we'll take it.
Yeah, yes, you have options. Send them our way.
Exactly. All right. So there's a total of 9 on the census. 981. No 96. And no average price now.
No sales. No graded sales.
Well, I mean, it's a limited book, right?
Yep. And the $100 price is off of one sale.
Hey, wasn't this? Oh, this is a
sale?
Giveaway.
One sale.
This was a giveaway too, wasn't it?
No, I think it was sold. I think it's Tate's. So the store Tate's. So I think it was sold.
I thought Tate's gave this away there.
Maybe they did. I don't. It's so far back. I don't remember.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Tate's books. I know that.
Well, listen, those Dark Horse books that are limited to 1,000 are good books to have in your collection anyway.
Fair point.
All right, next slide.
Let's look at Joe's copy that he showed us.
It's dirty, dude. Look at Joe's comic. Go ahead, read Joe's comics, Dom, and then I'll show.
All right, it says the bottom right corner has some non-pressable, edible damage that has some color rub and one small dent that would press out. So
we couldn't find that. We blew up the right corner.
Yeah, we couldn't bring it up anymore. But if you look at the corner, the right-hand corner, there is a little dink.
Maybe a little, but look at Joe's new message. Look at Joe's new message.
9-0 at best.
Corner. Wait a minute. You told us right corner, so I'm blowing up this right corner. I'm spinning it around. I'm looking for
Left, lower, left.
Yeah, it looks like
Obviously, it's hard to tell from that picture. I don't see anything lower left either.
Well, if you look at the right corner,
and then the glare hits a little bit.
Yeah.
You can see is a little like like a little bit higher. It's like a little there's damage like in that one little white spot.
It looks like a little blunt, like a little stub of the toe.
I wonder how. I don't know about the census, but I wonder how forgiving this book is. There's a lot of white there.
There's a lot of white there.
Gets dirty very quick too.
See, that's another thing. If you could, just a little tip, if you could find a dark background for these, and if you could, and I know a lot of people don't want to, but if you could take it out of the plastic, we appreciate it. But we appreciate you more importantly submit it.
Yeah. Any way you can get it done, we'll make it work.
Yep.
So he's saying here that he thinks 7.5 worse, 7.075, 9.0 best.
I don't see anything. I mean, we only have the pictures that Joe sent us.
Well, we don't know what the
missing something. I think those are very conservative grades.
The spine, we don't know what the spine looks like, or maybe in the back of the book.
Well, okay, but this is the problem. White on white, even under black light.
Yeah.
With white on
But we
white.
don't know how much color rub he's talking about either.
Yeah, we don't know how much they're going to give. So CGC does have a tendency sometimes to give a little bit of leniency on con exclusives. I mean, we haven't had cons in a while, so there hasn't been as many con exclusives. But there was for a time period when there were lots of con exclusives.
The celebration.
And they kind of gave a little bit of leniency on con exclusives. So,
And I mean, a perfect example of it. You got. I mean, they may give leniency on it, but it's still tough. These books get tossed around a lot.
Yeah. So even at a 9, if you're going 9, like that's going to be a very rare grade to get in this book.
Spine is fine, but color rub's hard to see in the pictures. But said there's a good deal.
So that raw that was sold, how bad was that copy? Does it say anything?
It was probably. It's hard to tell. It's eBay, and not everybody gives great pictures.
Yeah,
but it was probably around the same. I did notice a tick in there. So.
What, to get the prices?
Yeah.
Oh shit! $100 raw. Slab that bitch.
You know what? You slab it. All right. You know what? If this book turns out like the Ahsoka book, the variant of the first Ahsoka, then you have a good book, a grail in your hands. But I'll stash it.
There's no way in shit this is turning out as the Filoni.
Yeah, no. It's not good. There's nothing.
Well, in there it's not going to do it. But I would slash it. I would put it. Stash it away because, it's limited to 1,000 pieces, copies.
Yeah. Well, that Ahsoka book's not the only one that they.
I know. There's a bunch of different ones.
That's different. Those are retailer variants. This is I'm sorry. Those are Dark Horse variants. This is a retailer.
9.6 or 9.8 in this book. Stash it. If it goes up more, you could still make money.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think this. I kind of lean towards Marco. To me, this is a slab because look, you got one raw sale that I could find recently.
There's only 9.
There's only 9 on the census.
You're not going
to knock off the single highest graded.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you could still probably crack it out of the slab if you ever wanted to and sell it raw and make your. I mean,
I guarantee
you're giving CGC a bit of money as a donation, I guess, if you do that, but. Yeah. At least you see where you are, and you could probably sell a 9.0 graded for $100.
Here's the two things: if this book ever gets, let's just say that for some reason, and sometimes people do, somebody does something like Finding Ghosts, and this ends up on a ghost book, and you have this graded at a 9.0. That book, if you have it listed at a 9.0 for $300, will sell, guaranteed. Because who else is going to be listing? The 9.8 is going to list for some stupid ass price like $3,000.
Yeah.
There's no 9.6s on this thing. So the best you're going to get is like a 9.2, 9.4 maybe, right? Like that's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do with it? They're going to see $3,000 listed as OBO, 3,000. They're going to put their thing at $1,000. You got this up for $350 at a 9.0. It's gone. See you later. And they're paying shipping. Facts.
Yeah. Well,
facts.
now I gotta. This book's got to go moratorium. I can't cover it because we don't do that. But I can keep this in my back pocket for the next time I do a Ghost Star Wars show in another couple of months. A couple of months.
There are other ones too.
Yeah, there's
I think they
other
did this for. I think it was a Dark Times. There's another one. I don't think it's maybe
I
3,000.
just bought a Tate's one. Yeah, I just bought a Tate's
And
one.
also the diamond.
Play does something on the. I mean, it's content, so soon we shouldn't say it because now somebody's probably going to take it. But if they look the celebration books,
it depends on if they clean it up. If they press it and they clean it a little bit, and you get a 9.4, just say possibly you get 9.6, that it happens to come out in 9.6. You're sitting on a good book. Then you're right. No, you're definitely right.
Graded copies. Nobody's sending this book in for any reason to grade it. The minute somebody talks about this book, no matter what you think about the internet, the minute somebody talks about this book, they're going to say it's super rare, 1,000 copies. People are going to go on and see it. And as it's listed, I'm telling you, this book at a 9.0 will sell minimum $300. $350 probably.
Okay.
Yeah. But Dom, if you think that's not enough, Dom, you get FOMO more than anybody here. So I just want your opinion on this. If all of a sudden you see somebody on the internet say this, you're already telling us this is only 1,000 copies, it's a rare book. But all of a sudden you see a short run on this and somebody listing it, you're telling me you're not going to spend $300 on this book?
Of course, if I need my collection, definitely.
I know it's the highest grade you can get. You're going to go for the highest grade you can get. There's no other slabs. There's no other slabs coming down the road.
You're right. Yeah.
I mean, am I right or am I wrong? You tell me I'm wrong.
I think it really depends on the situation.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. I say slab. I don't know what everybody else says.
I'd still take a shot. I'm still with you on taking a shot, but I'm more driven by the fact that there's only 9, and I don't know how badly it is. Because again, I'm not seeing all
Unless
of
you
the rub
paid
that Joe's telling us, but I still would probably take a shot.
I'm with Pete shot because unless you paid some exuberant amount,
yes, exactly,
way higher than our average raw price here, you're still going to come out ahead, even if you crack it and sell it raw, probably.
Exactly, like what JJ said. You can still crack if it comes really low and they give you a 7 or a 7.5. You can crack it and then you can try to sell it raw later if you wanted to. As long as you don't have a ton into it right now, like JJ just said.
That's a good point, Wayseeker. You could even. I don't think you'll get 300 raw because I think
all depends on the situation and the buyer and where you sell it.
Yeah, they're gonna
exactly.
They'll start flooding. He bought it for 75. They're gonna start flooding the market. Everybody who has one of these in a back issue will start flooding the market. That's the first thing that floods the market.
Yeah, the problem is when you have
is because you're going to be one of 8 first to sales. If all the slab. That's if the people who have it slabbed are willing to sell it. They might not even be willing to sell it because that's not.
Star Wars fans hold on to their books. They don't sell.
They do, but don't forget. Like if you're going to sell it raw, you also run the risk of, even though you describe what the damage is, that buyer going, I don't like it, because they see it and they go, oh, this isn't a 9.8 because they wanted a 9.8, even though you told them it wasn't a 9.8. They're going to get it and say, I don't want it. But if you had it graded and it's a 9.0, like Marco said, they know they're buying a 9.0.
And Marco, you're saying put it up. You're saying put it up now, slab it and put it up now, and then for $300 or whatever. And then when it goes pop, somebody will buy it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, $350. Put it because this is it. 25%. It's 10. Let's say that 3 other issues come up. One of them's the 9.8 because all 9 issues aren't coming up. You know that. So you're the 10th issue. I'm telling you, all 10 issues rated will not come up if this pops. There will probably only be 2 to 3 more issues. Even if one of those is the 9.8, that means you have the odds of being the second one in a marketplace. I know, but there's only one 9.8.
Yeah, they do, and that is true.
And people will settle. People will settle though on a rare book.
Settlers these days.
Yeah. On a rare book, especially.
Well, definitely, if it's a ghost book and it's hard to get, people are going to want it in their personal collection.
I was in we don't grade nothing that's not a 9.8 for the. I had to get off of that because we were losing too much money, and now
I should add too, although it may not reach it, but there's only 196. There's only 198, and there's only 196.
Shit, there's
so
only 9.
Odds of one of those books going up is good. It's either the 9.6 or 9.8 is going to go up. But after that, your odds of having the second best book to market in the first run is best. So you'll be able to get a good price. Or don't.
But that's also a good point. What JJ just said, though. If there's only 198 and there's only 196, that means all of the other 7, all 7 of them are also of a lower caliber, I guess you would say.
That's not why we're doing this. Yeah, I mean, we're not doing it to...
Yeah,
no. Don't get that twisted. That's not
the purpose of this segment. But. Also, too, with this book, I don't think there'll be that many listeners. Not enough people watch this.
Between
That said, I still think I take a shot and slab. We're gonna do the final call.
yeah, slab.
Final
Slab. Dom says hold. Did Dom say hold?
You know what? Just thinking about it, slab it.
We pushed him. We peer pressured him into.
No, you did. No, because I was thinking about it too. Because you're right. The total graded out of all the books, and you never know.
Yeah, you never know. You might get a very friendly grader on the other end too.
All right, hey Joe, then put $400 on it. I don't care what you do on a 9.0. You don't want to put $350 because they sold for $150. Fine, put a bloody $450 on it. You'll still sell it. And there's not a lot of them going in there. All right, next up, price your own books. Anything else, or is that it? Thank you, Joe,
for the Stash Lab sell. We are done.
Yes, thank you for the submission.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you, Joe.
And Jay is stashing. Okay,
I said slab. I said
no,
send it.
Jay,
See what you get.
Jay
Not
Boleyn
you.
is not stashing it. No, he believes that everyone wants a 9.8. Oh,
Truth, but
they are weird. They are weird. You're weird. They are weird. All right. But for $75, I mean, I think whatever. Put $450. All right. What's up next? The review. Let's get the review in.
All right.
Who read the novel?
Not I.
I listened to it.
Very good. Me and Jedi. Okay.
Then
We're
I'll put
listening.
you next
Anyway,
to
let's do this
Jedi.
as me and Jedi.
Just the two of you, apparently.
Oh my God. It was okay.
I don't know if you want me to show. I only have the 4 pictures because Jedi gave me the 4 characters, but I don't even know if it was for this.
Before we start, so I have a question. This is the third in a series, is that right?
Yeah, this is the last one.
This is the third in the series, but it takes place in the middle of the two.
Okay.
So if you're like me and you're skipping it because I didn't listen to the other ones, is that necessary, or you think you could probably catch up and be fine?
Out because I forgot the other ones, and then this kind of refreshed, and I still was like, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of think you need to read at least the first one, probably.
Okay.
Moment one. Yeah, I would give you that.
Which one? The first one was what? Hope or
Peril.
Peril.
And then Shadow, Queen Shadow, right?
And then Shadow, and then Hope. And I think, if I remember right, and you know how bad I am with timelines, I think Hope takes place in between Peril and Shadow. I think Wayseeker, help me out if I'm wrong on that, but I think it did. I'm not sure.
No,
Sam said he listened to it.
No, Peril didn't she? The one became a artist in Peril already.
Yeah,
you got
Sam.
Peril. So isn't this the
well? Oh, God, I'm just reading Wayseeker's comment there about need to convince him it's good. I don't think I can. And that was going to be one of my closing points on this, but I'll just go through what I thought was
hit the story.
The story's main plot, I guess, was basically Padme is sent on some secret mission to investigate and nurture a possible rebellion ally relationship. Okay, there's some other stuff in there, but that's kind of the main thing. And then the subplots of the story were Padme and Anakin's secret marriage. You know, they talk about that. Padme is kind of wrestling with internal wrestling as to who do I tell? Do I tell anybody about this? Because remember, she's very close, best friends, really, with her handmaidens because they spent so much time together. So she's wrestling with, does she tell them? Does she tell all of them? Which ones does she tell? She ends up telling a few of them, but not all of them. Sabe is one that she does not tell. Now, remember, Sabe she was the first handmaiden chosen, spent the most time with Padme, because for a while it was just her and Padme until some of the other handmaidens were chosen by the captain of the guard. So very close to Sabe. I mean, she's the one that impersonated her probably the most, although she wasn't impersonating her when obviously one of her handmaidens was blown up. But so Padme was not told, but she found out, and I won't go. I mean, I don't want to spill too much of the beans here, but
how she found out. I'll be awesome with you. I actually have. This is not how I saw this story at all. Keep going. I thought it was awesome how she found out about it. But go ahead, keep going.
How Padme found out about it?
Oh, how Sabe found out.
Yeah. How she found out about it was kind of creepy in a way. How she found out about it. Yeah. But when Sabe found out about it, she was a little hurt, taken back as to why.
Anakin come by and give her a little smack on the tush.
You're barking up the right tree, kind of. Yeah. Yeah. So after Sabe found out, and especially how she found out, there's definitely some tension between Anakin and Sabe.
And there was no hiding.
No, I have to clarify that he couldn't tell them apart back then, even.
No.
Okay.
He kind of makes that same mistake.
Not what you think.
So while Padme is out on this mission, she needed somebody to impersonate her. Huh?
Big spoiler alert.
Yeah, these are spoiler alerts on some of these. So while Padme is out on this mission, she asked Sabe to impersonate her on the Senate, gave her permission to vote for her, and everything. That's how tight they are. So while she is impersonating Sabe, she is.
No, they explained why it isn't actually. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. While she's impersonating Sabe, meaning she's living. I'm sorry. While Sabe is impersonating Padme, God, she's living in her quarters and everything. She's pretending to be Padme.
Yeah, she's her.
Well, this is after Anakin and Padme had already married.
She walked into the room, nude Anakin just chilling on the bed.
You're close. Anakin goes into the bedroom.
Mark was in there before.
Anakin goes into the bedroom where Padme is sleeping. Does not do anything lewd or nasty. He senses immediately that it's not Padme.
This
looks
more like Karen. You're not like Natalie Portman.
And Natalie, I mean, damn near, I guess you could say, is very close to, killing her or fighting her. Yeah.
She actually loses a little breath. He kind of does the force choke without using the hand.
It's like Anakin's first response to everything. Yeah, just kill it.
I'm gonna choke it.
Kill it.
Kill it. Choke it.
No, okay, so this is a little bit different. Up to that point, can we stop? And then, Jedi, I don't mean to interrupt your whole thing. I see this first half completely different. I enjoyed it because, one, it gives you the point of view. Sabe was already in the point of, like, I'm getting older. It's going to be time for me to retire. Or what am I doing here with my life? Really, she's at the crossroads of what to do with her life. The small details, including that one where it was like she actually, Padme had ahead of time, put her in as the sub. So anything that she had ever voted on, if it ever came out that she wasn't, they gave you finer details that, like, when you're like, I know these movies don't make sense because how could she have a handmaiden voting for her all the time? Well, they explained that in the book. They explained this Anakin part too. Like, how did Anakin not know that there was handmaiden? He found out because he tried to go.
I saw the same comment.
He tried to. Yeah, 1 second, Dom. He tried to do this with Padme, and he found out through the Force that Padme wasn't there, so he force choked. And we don't need that comment, Sam. Okay, go ahead.
No, really quick.
Well, I was just going to say. So yeah,
really quick.
Hold on, let Tom ask. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. He sensed her that it wasn't Padme, but in the comic book, he didn't know who it was. So there's kind of in the comic, he thought it was Padme.
Well, Don, don't forget the comic book was also like years later.
I know. Okay, I'm just saying, but he didn't.
Well, I think he figured it out pretty quick in the comic too. He thought it was Padme at first, but he was like, "Wait, no, you're not."
He didn't know. No, he didn't know his. No, time. Sorry, he's creeping in to get in the covers, and before he gets into the covers, he's like,
he had something else on his mind. He couldn't use the Force at that point.
Wait a minute.
Well, he was really. I mean, to follow up, basically, he was. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm getting things. He was forced. He was going to force choke her. He was also one of the things that maybe saved Sabe was the fact that C-3PO was there, my guy, and he was like, he was watching it from a corner.
Record.
Creepy.
Record for later.
No, C-3PO was basically there and kind of played it down. Like, in other words, C-3PO wasn't surprised by any of it, so Anakin's kind of like, okay, let me throttle down.
There's very quickly you might
sell the vivid video.
There's a
same dude. That's what his sister. Luke and
There's
Leia
a point
kissing.
later on where Sabe's confronting Portman about Padme about it. Yes, C-3PO is a creep. Yeah, and she says, and for some reason, there's got to be something going on because I had lost my breath, or she said something to that effect. So I assumed that he force choked. It was just like an assumption that he had been so angry that he was choking her a little bit with the force.
So to get back to Marco's point about Sabe, getting older and what she wanted to do with her life, etc. Sabe, at least my take on it, was very uncomfortable with impersonating Senator Amidala. She did not like the way that the Senate operated. She's very uncomfortable. It really kind of, I don't want to say turned her stomach, but she did not like it at all. So that also kind of helped her make her decision for, towards the end of the book a little bit. But
she also had a hookup dude. She had a hookup dude that she was
Conra,
kind of like,
yeah. She had a side piece?
Conra.
Yeah, Conra. Yeah, no, she had a side piece.
Conra's her boyfriend, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like her. Like, hey, I need to get some. But then she's kind of thinking like, yo, but should I pop out
benefit.
At it or pop out a couple?
Well, Conra and her have been together because in the other books, Padme sends Sabe and Tanra accompanies her on missions to stop human trafficking, slavery, and all this.
They go undercover and then they go under the cover.
Yeah, but they are in a relationship. Yes, they are definitely in a relationship.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Joe's killing me.
Which I thought was pretty good too. I thought all those portions were pretty good. I mean,
Sabe told her boyfriend to choke her like Anakin did.
Stop it! Get out of here.
Some minor things.
We have off-road this review so much right now.
Some minor parts of the story that I thought were interesting that they didn't spend a whole lot of time on, but actually one of them is something that Ruben and I have talked about is Padme. There's a thing in there where Padme wonders very briefly how C-3PO's brain ended up on Tatooine for Anakin to find and build. I thought that was kind of interesting.
That's what I'm saying. Like they asked a lot of and answered a lot of questions that people typically picking shit talk about.
It also kind of gave some background into why Anakin was such a tech tinkerer. He tinkered in tech, and what he was trying to do. And his mother picked up this cause after Anakin went to be a Jedi. Was Anakin was actually trying to develop some sort of chip or scanner that would detect the chips in slaves, tracking chips. So he was actually trying to develop some sort of scanner to find those so they could be removed and free the slaves. His mother continued that after his.
I always figured it's just because he spent so much time inside because of his hate of sand.
Yeah,
maybe. But his mother actually continued that, and the story kind of circles back to that.
Damn it, where's Ruben? These guys are killing me.
Aunt Beru ends up being like a master at it. She actually ends up being like she's pretty good at it.
So some other things in the book, small things, and this is the part where, hey, this did not bother me. I don't know if it bothers anybody. To each their own is kind of how I look at it. But it would be wrong to not say that you noticed it in the book. It would be so.
They made it out right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it basically it incorporated diversity into the book. There was a very brief statement, or it's not statement, but a couple of pages between Anakin and Obi-Wan where they were in a battle. And one of the clone troopers was tending to one of the other fallen clone troopers.
It was weird.
And basically, long story short, it was a transgender clone trooper. And it went into a couple of pages about how the clone troopers were developing their own identities.
It wasn't even a couple pages, like one page.
Yeah, very short. Maybe
I can explain this a little bit better. They shoehorned a portion that didn't even fit with any of the storylines, so they could give themselves a cookie. And I really
identity politics.
I just think, well, no, not even out of that. I think that like at this point, like if you're going to give us stories, like give us stories.
Give us a full story. Don't just
a
little.
I think if you're gonna dip your toe in, make it count.
Give it a little. You're right.
Make it sense. Like this part right here was so awkwardly and standoutish.
Yeah.
That the only thing it can do is you can pat yourself on the back and say, "Hey, I'm trying to do something," but it makes it awkward and standoffish.
Yeah.
If you want to do, and they've done this now this is the problem that unfortunately, I love how Johnson does books, but this is a problem that I had in this one with her. This is the same problem that I have with what's her name that does the kitty books in High Republic. They don't incorporate the story. They don't normalize these things.
Because they're trying to
like you would
push the agenda.
Well,
without
I don't even think it's that.
No, with the story to the point where it doesn't make sense to the story. They just put it in there.
Yeah, I think like Marco,
it wasn't even a big enough part to make a difference in the story.
No, there's it's a waste of time.
Yeah, exactly. There's no impact to it.
Yeah, there's no
do it like you did.
Like
Alphabet Squadron handles that well.
Yes, Alphabet Squadron
from that perspective, where it's incorporated great into the story and it means something. Whereas, if you just include it for 2 pages, just to include it,
the twins in the High Republic,
Yeah, and there was also another that I brought up when we were talking about this. So Padme also brought on some additional handmaidens, and one of the handmaidens was actually I'll be careful how I say this. Basically, fluid gender, or fluid gender. Is that right?
Other way.
Gender fluid, I believe, is how it's pronounced.
Gender fluid. Sorry.
Okay. We're all learning.
Gender fluid. Because there was a couple of statements where they actually said something about how this handmaiden, sometimes they woke up feeling like a guy. Sometimes they woke up feeling like a girl.
Let me ask this. I have more of a general question on the handmaidens thing. Is it like I assume so it works in the way like they did like Greek oracles or something where pretty much like nobody knows which one is the real one, and like if they say who's the real queen, they'll kind of all say we're the queen.
For the first set of hand, so this is actually something very interesting in the book too, because they explain that. See, this is the good part. Wayseeker, I'm going to hit your comment up in a minute. This is actually something really important. This is why I did like this book, because that's kind of what they did. So there's 2 different forms of it. Handmaids traditionally were not the oracle. Her first generation handmaidens, Sabe, the one that blew up, all the rest of them were that. They were, we are all the emperors. The second version, the one he's talking about, the transfluid one and the rest of them, weren't. They were actually just handmaidens, as in the typical, we follow around and we serve a purpose of service.
Yeah, and they weren't brought on board to impersonate. The second tier, they weren't brought on board to impersonate.
So they're more like a secret army or something in a way.
They were brought on board because of their skill sets, basically.
Her first generation one, the Sabes. The Sabes were like a secret army, yes. The second version, no, they were just like every other queen and senator or person of royalty would have handmaidens. They just don't want to call them servants, but servants.
Yeah, don't want to call them servants, but that's
what it was. I wait to to work a little bit.
So another interesting.
I thought that was cool. Like that's what I'm saying. Like when you're knocking this book, I'm thinking like they gave us
I'm not knocking it.
Padme. No, maybe in the thing, but like to sell it because he asked to sell it. They're giving a point of view from Padme, which we haven't seen before. We've seen the Anakin point of view of why he does stuff, but we haven't actually seen like you see the inside of Padme too. Like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. My husband, this guy that I married, not only can't I tell people about him, but at the same time, like I was there and so was my best friend. And like, how do we talk about my husband killing a bunch of people? Like, and then he choked my best friend.
She wasn't all up there either when it comes to.
And then I'm trying to like, I didn't. You kind of have a feeling she didn't want to tell Sabe because she didn't want to have it, or Sabe because she didn't want to be judged. But at the same time, like she didn't want it to be found out the way she did by him kind of choking her. So it puts the point of view of her in there. Like she feels it was maybe a little bit rushed. But then Sabe's like, no, he's perfect for you because I could never see any other person because you're both lunatics. Pretty much is what Sabe said. Like Don was about to say. You're both lunatics, so you're good for each other.
Yeah, well, they are.
So another thing that I thought was pretty cool, and I can't remember where it happened exactly in the story, probably towards the end, was Anakin. They were saying something about one of the reasons, and it got me to thinking about Darth Vader and C-3PO, right? So basically, about why he doesn't like droids, why he doesn't like C-3PO, why he never recognized C-3PO or anything like that. Is basically C-3PO is a reminder of his mother, both the good and the bad, and also C-3PO therefore is a reminder of slavery.
Dude, Jedi did so much for C-3PO. I wouldn't even remember the motherfucker was in the book. To be honest,
of course I do. So here's what I was saying.
I
So
thought it was very interesting. I thought it was.
I wanted more.
Huh?
Go ahead.
It's Principio.
I've never had a problem with the politics portion of Star Wars. So, like, I had a problem that they didn't explain it well enough. Okay. And I think this book added on to that. The slavery thing, it added on to that. The reason why, like, they actually got really deep into the chips. It was really kind of cool because it made sense. This, as an expose of why things made sense, why Padme didn't just have, as he said, specialized, skilled, handmaidens like normal people do that helped her, like, put her hair up or do whatever, that she actually had dubs and people that were good with, like, espionage or whatever else. This explained it more, and I actually really enjoyed that part. The parts I didn't enjoy was the person who was reading it, and when she tried to do male voices or alien voices or transfluid voices or all that stuff, because it was bad.
But you like that she had a Fox Force 5.
It'd be like me going like, I think this is how all women talk. They talk like this. Like, it was really bad. Like, that shit's bad. I'm not trying to do that. My lady's voice just isn't a good voice. You know what I mean? So I won't be trying to impersonate women anytime. If you can't do a good man, like, once again,
You talking about the narrator or the writer?
the narrator. 'Cause I
Narrator,
listened
yeah,
to
the
it.
reader.
Man.
Well, that's the narrator's job, though. I
Yeah,
mean,
but they should have.
he's got to throw. They got to throw their voice in some way. It's not,
Yeah,
It was bad. It sounded like somebody.
Yeah, that didn't bother me, but I listen to a lot more audio books than Marco does, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get used to
It
it.
didn't bother me.
I don't like it. Anyway,
So what I wanted more of, I wanted more of Sabe working to free the slaves. I wanted more Sabe and Tanra. It does kind of circle back towards the end to
a lot more of the soap opera.
Wait, we show Tanra. We do have a slide for Tanra, but not Panaka. Well, there's Panaka.
that's Panaka.
This guy.
That's Tanra.
You know.
Oh, where's Tundra?
This
Hey.
guy. Anyway,
And that's Sabe, right?
yes.
That's
And
Sabe,
the headdress.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. I thought the story was a little scattered to me, but I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought the subplots were a little more interesting than the actual main plot of what I thought was the main plot. But I liked it, but it's probably my number out of the three. I like the other two. I like the first two better. I mean, that's not saying I don't like this one. I enjoyed it. I think the first two had a lot more connection to the movies. That's why I liked them a little more. But I mean,
Really?
it was okay.
I did a lot of fill-in for the movies. The question: what did you think the main plot was? I guess maybe that's where I'm missing the mark here.
Well, maybe not the main plot's not what I'm saying. I mean, I didn't follow because I wanted so much of the other stuff. Maybe I didn't pay enough attention to the mission she went on to meet the one guy that wanted to supply them with something, and the mission that Gail Organa sent her on. I just really didn't connect to that. I thought it was. Yeah.
See, I thought the plot of this book was to move Sabe on to what she's going to do further on, and I think they did.
No, I think you're right there too. Yeah,
did a great job.
Maybe plot's not the right word when I say plot. I guess I didn't really connect to that little adventure. But yeah, I think the purpose of this book was to maybe move Sabe onto more of a spotlight character.
And I actually think this book plays great into the comics where she comes back with vengeance, because why wouldn't she? Now she's moved on. She did her slave portion. Her and Padme, I think it put them on equal grounding with each other. I think that was the point of the story, that they're now no longer is she like she is the queen now, right? Or like not the queen, but we are all Padme. She's her own Padme. She's her best her, right? Like she's now boinking homeboy, like, and they're doing their thing. She's no longer having to be subservient to the other portion of
And you have
Padme.
Sasha too, which was very also mixed up in there too, but not to the level of Sabe.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the only thing I'll say is the stuff they try to shoehorn out of the Padme Sabe moving on with their live story. The her clone thing that they briefly shoehorned in there. They did reference the other book because of the actress thing and kind of put it in there, but whatever.
No. Don't get sidetracked. Put that bow.
What?
Put that bow on this.
But that's what I'm saying. For that, for those things. I mean, just for those things, real quickly, I'm saying the book was really good. It got me back. It connected me back to the prequel trilogies. It gave me a little bit deeper of insight into Padme, a lot deeper into Sabe, and finished off her story arc to go into the comics. So I saw that passing. I'm done with excusing writers like Ireland and now apparently Johnson in patting themselves on back and screwing up storylines because they want to shoehorn crap in there. Please stop doing it. Please stop. So because of that, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say as far as Sabe goes, yes, this does exactly what you said. Also, the book before, Queen's Shadow, also is a lot about Sabe and how she is going to continue. She's going to find out what happened to Sabe, why, how, and I'm gonna seek vengeance kind of thing. That's kind of how that book ended. Also, very interestingly, the very end of that book, she gets a phone call, a hologram, whatever, from Organa, and that's kind of where it ends. So you figure if Gale is contacting her at the end of that book after, because the epilogue, Padme's dead, is for a couple of reasons, maybe all these reasons, to tell her about Leia for one, to enlist her into the rebellion, because that's Gale's thing, right? Is the rebellion, or maybe both those things. I think Sabe had a big influence on Leia's life, but I can't prove any of that.
Yes. All in all, I thought the book was pretty good. I thought they added a lot of detail in it. It was short, which I like. So that's good.
You guys swayed Sam to be a little more forgiving.
And I think that's kind of where it is. I mean, in the tiers of Star Wars book, I think it's in that, B- C range. I really do. I mean, it's not Ireland D.
Yeah. So it didn't sound like it was necessarily bad. It just didn't all fit together like it should necessarily.
It is a gap book.
More or less, to sum it up.
The plus from the book is that you got to know more about Sabe.
Yeah, and you got some more prequel stuff thrown in there. It was really cool. It was really cool. I thought those portions were really good. Yeah, and that is 98% of the book is that and Padme. I don't think you're giving enough credit into how much they got into the mental state of the wedding and the choices that Padme had to make too.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I wasn't giving.
I mean, you
enough
did a lot about
because
C-3PO, which I didn't fucking even. I forgot he was in the story. So I mean, we see it from a point of view. I guess
the book was really about C-3PO
and the creeper.
He's the hero of the story.
saving Sabe's life because Anakin was about to choke the crap out of him.
C-3PO saved C-3PO now at this point in this book.
But
Jedi.
He's like Skippy the droid. By that way, he saved the rebellion and saved the.
C-3PO was the hero. He saved Padme and Sabe, and he could have saved Anakin. But Darth Vader just wouldn't have.
Not like that dumb medical droid where she's like, she's giving up on life.
Oh, don't even dare! Don't even open that scab. Don't open that door because I'm gonna lose my shit.
That's what I'm saying.
He lost the will to live.
Lost the will. You just had 2 kids. You lost the will.
Makes sense.
Anakin, you're killing me.
He was annoying and horrible and whatever. He's definitely had.
Yeah, her C-3PO. I will say the narrator C-3PO voice was not good at all.
No, it was really bad.
It was terrible.
Real bad.
No Anthony Daniels.
Yeah.
So it was a guy narrator?
Listen to it. Read the book, don't listen
That
to
was
it.
a female.
I was going to say. Oh,
no, it's the one lady. The one lady did everything.
Okay.
And when she did the voices, it was like, I don't give a fuck. Why am I doing these voices? I'm going to do the worst shit I can do on them.
All right, Pete. Hey, Pete, we're over 3 hours. Are we doing this or no?
Oh, shit. I completely forgot about that.
Because he's got to go. Yeah, hurry up. Let's do it. What do you give it? Give it the grade. Hurry up. Give it the grade. Wedding Panels
grade?
Sucked. Give
The
it
book.
Did I?
I'll give it I'm easy. I'll give it a B+. I liked it. I mean, I liked it better than a lot of other books that people are crazy about, like the Thrawn books that I have a hell of a time getting through. I liked it better than that. Maybe it's put it shorter.
Who this man? L's in chat. He thought this fucking book was about C-3PO. He didn't even listen to the book.
It was fighting words with Marco.
That goddamn Thrawn books. He gives a
Can you mute Marco? Does that work?
Stupid thing. The wedding planner. He was fucking planning a wedding. Are you kidding me? C-3PO
was a bit of a wedding planner in this too. Yeah, sure.
In this book, D+ for this.
Everything's gold.
I still give it a C+, B-.
All right.
I'm easy though. I
So
like
anything
Book of
is
Boba
gold.
Fett.
Easy like
Everything's
Sunday
gold.
late night.
So, yeah, any book you put C-3PO and he's giving
All right.
+2.
Hey, throw some. If we're doing this, start throwing some
Does he have a
ones up
binder?
in the chat, guys.
Yeah, come on, guys, hurry up and get those ones up there.
C-3PO was hardly in the book. The biggest portion was that he was the wedding planner, like eating them at the
Yeah.
God, it's the worst part. Literally,
He was the wedding planner. He wanted to make sure they all ate right.
it's one
Some
thing.
wedding planners probably watching the show being like, "What? Because it's
See those ones.
It's like Clone Wars, her thing for the pat on the back and the like. Okay, but you just fall.
Marco's still going.
Cap-
Sam is the only
I
entry.
think, Sam, you think you already did this? Or did you? I don't know.
Has Sam done this?
No,
I
no,
don't know
here
if
we go.
Sam-
They're popping up now.
After they did on how C-3PO
No, Sam hasn't done it.
Okay. Oh, he was just in on the.
dress comes
Boba
out
Fett game.
fucking right. There's
We got to find a better way to do the entries, by the way.
Yes, we do.
the priest to make sure he wasn't from
Not
the
today.
Scientology. It was fucking. They did
Marco's still going. He's like,
I know. Don't worry. He's like a little kid. He'll tire himself out.
Rumor has it, this whole thing is going to go into
Tie
that.
him to a chair and let him run the energy.
What are we doing? Rumor has it. I can't believe.
okay,
Are we ready? Is that enough?
is that all? We only got looks like
There's
six or
six.
seven
It's,
entries.
you guys, yeah, half dozen.
These are hard to get through, and you sat through that bullshit wedding planner C-3PO.
Still going.
He's still going.
The Energizer Bunny.
I cannot. All right, let's go. We're gonna run it. We had enough time to put ones in here. I don't even want to do this now. I want to leave after this. All right. We're starting at
Well, there's just the six.
Wookiee.
We got the six.
Oh,
Speaking
started
of
at
that
Eric.
through Royal Clown, looks like.
and we're going. We're starting at Eric, and we're going. We're starting at Eric, and we're going. We're starting at Eric, and we're going. We're starting.
And stop.
Oh, well, here you go. Blasphemy Jedi. Eric. Eric, it is. I didn't know Eric put a one in there too. It's on Eric.
Put a one in there.
Right there.
I know, but I started at his Blasphemy Jedi because I like it. And he's right, by the way. Blasphemy.
I forget what I said that spun you up so much. I don't
That you
even
didn't like
remember.
the Thrawn books as much as
Yeah.
the.
Like you like
Oh,
the book.
I have a hard
No,
time
we're not
doing
getting
it.
into it. We're not.
Read.
Now you've reignited it, Pete. You should have said, I don't remember either.
Star Wars.
Move along. Move along.
Especially the second one. The second one was like, oh my god.
Jedi,
Here
stop.
we go.
Please stop. Please.
Eric, let us know what question you want.
All right, Eric, pick a question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Did you hear what he said?
Such
I still haven't
blasphemy
got
has
to the
never
third
said.
one.
Thank you. Everybody,
Seriously.
boo this man. Boo him.
Boo me.
Eric, save us. There we go. Four.
Four it
All right,
is.
question 4. I think these questions are pretty easy. Oh, he picked the hardest one too. All the
Oh,
others
wow.
were like gimmies, and he picks the one that's not. All right. What act was Senator Amidala, speaking of Padme, fighting when she returned to Coruscant to speak to the Senate? What act was Senator Amidala fighting when she returned to Coruscant to speak to the Senate? Was it A, Military Insurgents Act,
Yep.
the Republican
Trying to nuke 'em.
Armed Forces Act,
Ooh, we got
the Military Creation Act, or we got bots, or the Republican Military
Got 'em.
Act?
I always thought wasn't it the act of
By the way,
appointed
those
as,
I know
booze
which
are
one it
Marco's
was, but I
booze,
read
not
the
my
card.
booze.
it was the Creation Act, right?
In the
yeah,
chat.
the Creation Act, I thought, but
I think it's the Creation Act. Yeah. Wayseeker says creation. Oh, wait, it's getting tricky here.
Hey,
C
We
and
got
B.
some dissenting opinions. But we
Because
got
it was
Oh,
the
wait,
act
Eric's
to-
playing.
to basically mint the clone army or whatever, right?
Yes.
Uh-oh. We're all wait, Eric, you sure?
we're split now.
Now BK
Oh,
say
But Eric makes the call.
Eric's saying
All right,
C.
Eric's
Eric
question.
says
So
C.
Eric, are you good with C? I think so. We don't need to drag it out. Eric gave an answer.
is that the answer? It is C, right?
It is the answer.
I mean, I'd always
Yeah.
go because at least I know that.
I would kind of lean in B too, because that sounds like something they would call it. But armed forces sounds like oddly real life.
Terrestrial.
Yeah. That there's a guy named Jedi Johnson, and he says that all his writing is garbage. Just make sure you do that too.
Timothy's on?
That's
I
who
like
wrote
Heir to the
Thrawn
Empire.
book, dude.
I know.
Let the
Never
book
gonna end.
go.
No, it won't. Not on this one. No, sir. No, high ground.
Will not stand.
On the high ground if I have to. Okay.
Let
Ground.
Eric see
I'll let
his
you know when
options.
I finally finish the third one if I change my mind. All right, Eric, what are you doing? Are you gonna? Oh, I didn't tell him what
You
he
gotta show
wants.
what he
Yeah,
wants.
we're back to these.
Yeah.
We're doing these.
We're on the medals.
Do you want these,
Metal models.
or do you want some, or do you want a deal, Eric?
Deal.
He's got to work in the
Deal.
morning.
Gamble. Gamble.
This is I don't know
Agreed.
what this one is, and this is the Millennium Falcon. Put that
Yeah.
up front.
And Eric,
We
you
need
decide
the
to
series.
deal. Give us the 1, 2, 3 while
We're
you're
gonna get
doing it.
the 2 Wayseeker because we need the 3rd series. We're gonna get it. Deal. He wants to make a
Deal,
deal.
okay.
What number, Eric?
All right.
You're gonna make a deal. Starting next year, that would be amazing too.
Big three.
1, 2, or 3.
You gotta do it soon though, Wayseeker, because if you're gonna bring out,
Number 3
Eric
it
says
is.
3.
I probably led him astray horribly.
you should have done that.
I don't remember.
Whatever you do, whatever you do.
You're all winners.
You're all winners in Jedi.
And then a new
Oh,
contender.
Except for the guy that
Unless
gets
you're
the Star
Star
Trek
Trek.
stuff.
Yeah,
This paper feels old, so
it's a Star Trek fight.
So that means really good.
an older one. It says, "Great, Gary." It says, "Great, Gary got into the paint again."
Oh,
Ooh.
Ah,
That's cool.
Black Series. Gaming greats.
Gaming greats.
Gaming greats. Yeah.
Nice.
Black Series
Yeah,
Gaming
that's
Great.
actually a good one. It's Sabe.
A Sabe figure.
I like click my
Sabe.
bid with man.
I'm not giving away Sabe figures.
Yeah, nobody knows.
That's gonna be my next C3PO.
That's what I was
Or
thinking. That's what I was thinking. Wayseeker, if we get the 3. If it's announced, we get the 3. Then
Next-
Thrawn-
Next Marco, the next show will just be Marco and Wayseeker talking about Thrawn, one in the chat and one live.
Throwing dartboards, throwing darts at a picture of me, I guess.
No. I mean, you have wrong opinions.
Listen, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I want to put a shout out there to Joshua, the tech guy who fixed my internet today. There you go. I promise to do it. I had
Thank you
to.
for that, please. Thank
Just
you.
in time. Now, and Pete hit the kill switch whenever you want. But yeah, I like
Right.
So Thrawn. The first one, the first book was good. The second one was so dry. The second one was terrible, and then the third one I'm not done with yet.
I
The
know
second
you.
one was
I
all
know
about
I'm waiting
him.
for the other shoe.
I know. Pete, you blame that man because he's about to get it. Listen to me.
The second one was all about. Well, the second one was all about Padme.
You should have just hit the button.
Second one was
no.
about Padme, and they were on. They were like breaking in. I can't even. It's just.
Are you wrong or are you wrong? And did you
All
not?
right, Marco's doing a book review on the second one next week.
I'll do it all 6. Dude, all 6 are magic. They are the magic of what the Star Wars universe is, was, and should be in the future.
All right, then you guys can discuss it next week. We're gonna use JJ's. This is the JJ picture. We're gonna use-
Literally, he literally
No.
already
In my
made
house.
non-canonized series and made it fucking better. Like literally made it better. How do you do that? Star Wars never
By the
done
way, whenever Pete clicks the button, this is going to keep going for about 20 minutes after each show.
Well, that you guys can deal with that.
No, I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat dinner. I ain't listening to this for another 20
Nobody
minutes.
says, you know what I want? You know what I don't want is another series from the best writer of Star Wars canon there is, Timothy motherfucking. Oh my God! I can't even take it, Jedi.
On that
You-
note,
And on the, see, I wanted to do it right on Timothy.
It's a B plus because C3PO was being creepy and planned a fucking wedding. Then you have galactic growing. You have got strategization. You've got fights. You've got plane scenes. You've got Jedi.
He took off his headset. He can't even hear us now.
Everything. And you
We
know,
can talk about him however we want.
not so good.
It's so hard.
Force.
It's like an accident.
Don't like
Turn my head.
universe building, but like
a gold.
Yeah, you know,
droid.
Marco, if you like eating dry toast, that's on you,
He can't
man.
hear you. He's not wearing his
Can't hear
headset.
you with the-
He took his headset off.
You literally go, let's watch. What was that creepy Dr. Robinson fucking droid? Go watch that because that's what you want. You want a droid.
He's looking for the plug so he can pull it.
Hey, Pete,
It's
time. It's time.
You want no force. You don't want any threats. You don't want anything.
I don't even know what he's saying anymore. All he's gestures.
I want to see how long it would
Go
go
here.
for.
Good day, sir. Good
All right.
day.
Thank you, guys.
Sir,
They'll keep
what are we
going.
talking
We'll tell you what
about?
happened.
No, we're not. We're not.
Good
Actually,
day.
we were talking about you the whole time you had your headset off.
I don't care.
He was muted.
hear
Did
what
someone
he
tell him he was muted all that time?
Yeah, I didn't hear where you said you were muted.
Yeah, you're muted,
We
Marco.
muted
I
you.
don't know what you're talking about.
We just were like to
All
see
that
you
energy.
waving your arms.
Marco will sleep well tonight. We let him burn it off.
Okay.
See you guys next week.